the moment Crom Cruaka's claws were about to reach him. Boom! A tremendous force exploded outward, sending waves of power across the chamber. The weaker members collapsed instantly, unconscious. Grendel stumbled back, clutching his head. Even Valyana's breath hitched, her eyes widening in shock. Crom Cruak halted mid-attack, eyes wide. His entire body locked up, frozen under an overwhelming, unseen force. Satria's eyes burned. His presence alone now weighed down on the battlefield like an unmovable titan. Off-Eyes, still watching from the sidelines, tilted her head slightly. Her cosmic gaze flickered with curiosity. Oh! Satria took one casual step forward. The floor cracked beneath him. He smirked. Underestimate the power of chickens, and you'll never get the chance to regret it. _______. Special mission for Bangsat, defeat the evil dragon, Crom Cruak. _______. The moment Crom Cruak prepared to counterattack, Satria vanished. A sudden gust of wind followed his movement. A blur of black feathers and lightning. Then, thud! Crom's eyes widened in shock as he felt a weight land atop his head. Hey! Since when did you get there? He tilted his gaze upward, only to find Satria crouching on his skull, arms crossed smugly. The absurdity of the sight made even the strongest members of the Cow's Brigade stare in disbelief. Crom's brows twitched in irritation. How dare a mere clown ride atop the great me? Have you no shame? Yet, despite his rage, he couldn't sense Satria's movement at all. A faint smirk tugged at Crom's lips. I'll admit it. You move like a cockroach, disgusting, but surprisingly elusive. He chuckled darkly, his prideful arrogance never faltering. Very well. As a reward for amusing me, I, Crom Cruak, shall give you one free attack. I won't defend myself. His golden scales shimmered, reflecting the dim lights of the chamber. Come. He spread his arms wide. Strike me with everything you have. Let me show you how foolish it is to think anything can harm my impenetrable scales. Satria stretched his arms, cracking his knuckles. You're being real generous, hey? His voice carried an amused tone, yet beneath it lurked something far more dangerous. I suppose it would be rude to turn down such a golden opportunity. His hand pulsed with a strange, translucent energy. He placed it gently against Crom's skull. Serum. A miniature sphere materialized in Satria's palm. Crom's eyes flickered with confusion. What kind of weak attack? Bzzzzzzzzzt. A violent surge of electricity erupted, surging through Crom's nervous system in an instant. Gay. Crom screamed in agony, his body convulsing wildly. His limbs seized, his powerful legs buckling beneath him. The shockwave rippled through his brain, frying his neurons and sending his draconic senses spiraling into chaos. The mighty evil dragon, one of the strongest beings in existence, fell. Crash! The ground shook as his massive form collapsed, his body twitching uncontrollably. His once fierce golden eyes now swam with disorientation, his pride shattered alongside his nervous system. What is this? His voice came out hoarse, strained. His legs refused to move. His balance was gone. He felt nauseous, his world spinning. How? How can this be? His breathing turned ragged, his body refusing to obey him. My body won't respond. I can't move my legs. What did you do to me? Satria casually dusted himself off, looking down at the fallen dragon with a smirk. Are you done? Crom's clawed hands dug into the dirt, his pride demanding he rise. But his body betrayed him. No. This must be a dream. From what fairytale does a chicken defeat a dragon? Laughter erupted across the chamber. Holy crap! Did that really just happen? He actually took down Crom Cruak in one hit. New legend confirmed. The era of dragons is over, it's the age of chickens. One of the devils clutched their head, trembling. Could he really be the embodiment of the wrath of every chicken we've ever eaten? Valyana team member, the grandson of Monkey King, was wondering in amusement. Meanwhile, Valyana smirked, watching her husband's antics. At least he's entertaining. I'll spare him for now. A slow clap echoed through the room. Satria turned. There, Off-Eyes, the infinite dragon god, watched him with her expressionless, cosmic gaze. You are strong. Her voice was soft yet absolute. Join me. Satria tilted his head. Join you? Just like that? Yes. Off-Eyes nodded. You are strong. I want strong people. Join me. He chuckled, rubbing his chin. Sounds tempting. But first, tell me, what exactly is your goal? Off-Eyes blinked. Then, in the same monotone voice, she answered. I want to chase Great Red out of my home. Silence. Satria's eye twitched. No. No. Control yourself, Satria. That voice, that expression. It's exactly like her. His mind waged war against itself. You already have 6. Breathe in. Breathe out. Stay calm. Stay calm. Suddenly, he placed a hand on Off-Eye's shoulder. And then, they disappeared. Fatalis blinked, her scarlet eyes darting around the room. Where did he take her? No answer. Her gaze shifted toward Krom Kruok, who was still groaning in pain on the ground. She sighed. And what about him? Is no one going to help? The rest of the Cows Brigade simply looked away. No one wanted to go near the once mighty, now pathetic evil dragon. For now. Krom gritted his teeth, his vision swimming. Damn you! Damn that stupid chicken! His rage boiled within him, but his body refused to rise. As much as he hated to admit it. He had lost. And in the most humiliating way possible. The villa stood proudly against the backdrop of Switzerland's majestic Alps, a perfect blend of modern luxury and nature's untouched beauty. Crystal clear lakes reflected the sky like polished glass. Rolling meadows stretched beyond the horizon, dotted with wild flowers. The air was crisp, carrying the faint aroma of pine and fresh earth. There was reason why he built it here. Swiss neutrality, diplomacy, financial mastery, environmental responsibility, work-life balance, and most importantly, cheese and chocolate expertise. Because someday, who knows? That knowledge might come in handy. Inside the villa, Satria and Off-Eyes sat across from each other. Off-Eyes, the infinite dragon god, stared at him with the same unchanging, cosmic gaze. She had offered him power, alliances, and a place within her group. But Satria had his own terms. I have 3 conditions if you want me to join Cows Brigade, Off-Eyes. Off-Eyes tilted her head slightly, intrigued. State them. Satria raised a finger. First, when I need you, you come to my side. No questions asked. Off-Eyes nodded. That was easy. Second, I want to know more about you. Your story. Not just the infinite dragon nonsense. The real you. A flicker of something passed through Off-Eyes' usually unreadable expression. Curiosity? Surprise? She gave a small nod. Acceptable. Then, Satria grinned and pulled out his phone. He swiped through his gallery before holding up a picture of a black-haired girl in an elegant Chinese dress. And third. Dress up like this. Off-Eyes blinked. Then blinked again. She leaned closer, examining the image of Ryuug Kisaki from Blue Archive. That is your wish. She narrowed her eyes, searching his expression for deception. People had asked her for power, wisdom, authority, chaos, destruction. But this man? He wanted her to play dress up. Satria nodded enthusiastically. Yep. Off-Ice tilted her head slightly. Then. Okay. A faint shimmer enveloped her. And in the blink of an eye, her outfit transformed. A stunning black and red Chinese kipao hugged her slender frame, its elegant golden embroidery catching the light. Her raven black hair was styled exactly like the girl in the picture, complete with delicate hairpins and ornamental accessories. She turned to him, her face still as expressionless as ever. What do you think? Silence. Then. Satria leaped from his seat. No way you're exactly her. Hell yet. The infinite dragon becomes a waifu. His excitement was off the charts. We need to celebrate this moment, Off-Ice. What do you want to eat? Today's my treat. Off-Ice blinked again. I do not require food to sustain myself. Satria waved a dismissive hand. Nonsense. Sit tight and let me cook something special for you girls. With that, he rushed into the kitchen. The kitchen came alive with the rhythmic chopping of ingredients, the sizzle of melted chocolate, and the rich aroma of warm butter. Satria carefully prepared the batter, ensuring the molten center would ooze perfectly. For the final touch, he crafted a vibrant raspberry coulis, its tartness a perfect contrast to the rich chocolate. Satria emerged from the kitchen, no longer wearing his ridiculous chicken costume. The dining table was set beautifully, candlelight flickering gently. Off-Ice's gaze locked onto the dessert before her. The smell was enticing. Your food is ready. Satria grinned, presenting the plate with a flourish. In front of her sat a perfectly crafted chocolate lava cake, its glossy surface hinting at the molten treasure within. Off-Ice stared at it. What is this? Her voice held a rare trace of curiosity. Satria's grin widened. A special chocolate lava cake, made exclusively for sweet girls like you. His words carried warmth. For the first time Off-Ice felt something unfamiliar stir within her. She picked up the fork. The instant the metal utensil sliced into the cake, a velvety river of molten chocolate flowed onto the plate. The scent alone was intoxicating. She took a bite. The moment the decadent chocolate melted on her tongue, Off-Ice's eyes widened slightly. An explosion of flavor. Sweet. Warm. Rich. Something she had never experienced before. This is. She blinked. Her grip on the fork tightened slightly. Delicious. Satria leaned forward, his smile growing. Glad you like it, Off-Ice. For a moment, just a moment. The infinite dragon god, feared and revered by all, was just a girl enjoying chocolate for the first time. And in that quiet, unexpected moment, they created a memory to cherish forever. To be continued. Chapter 105, Side Story, Different Route. It had been nearly 1 month, and the original Kurumi was nowhere to be found. Where was she now? What secret was she hiding? And what about our mission, our goal? You, of all people, seemed like you didn't care anymore. You were different. Something was wrong. She had to find out the truth. Ara, how vexing the original is. The voice belonged to one of Kurumi's clones, her crimson eye gleaming under the dim city lights. She tilted her head playfully before glancing at the approaching figure. Ah, hello, Shidou-san. To think you were stalking me, how bold. But wait a moment, okay? Let me finish my business first, then we can have some fun, just the two of us. The clone pointed her revolver at the trembling man before her, the same one who, just moments ago, had been tormenting a helpless kitten with his friends. No. Stop. Please, don't kill me. The thug pleaded, his face drenched in sweat. Shidou's stomach twisted. Kurumi-san, what are you doing? This isn't right, he's not your target. Bang. The sound echoed through the alley. The man collapsed. Shidou's breath hitched as blood pooled beneath the lifeless body. Aram, my hand slipped. The clone giggled, twirling her gun before pointing it directly at him. Now then, Shidou-san, it's your turn. His legs froze in place. The cold air felt suffocating. Hold yourself together, Ani-chan. Take a deep breath and run. A familiar voice rang inside his mind. Shidou inhaled sharply. Then he bolted. The sound of gunfire rang behind him. A bullet barely missed him, striking the concrete beside a small, injured kitten. A flicker of golden light enveloped the creature, healing its wounds before it scampered away. Kurumi chuckled. Goodbye, little kitten, and as for you, Shidou-san, you're quite the sly one, aren't you? The hunt just got more fun. She chased him effortlessly, her speed inhuman. Something felt different. Stronger. Faster. Kurumi's clone felt it too. Ever since the original went missing, her strength had increased. It thrilled her. Hunting down an ordinary human like Shidou was far too easy. Within moments, she tackled him to the ground. Got you. Shidou gasped for air as she straddled him, pinning him down. Her fingers trailed his cheek before her tongue followed, licking a slow, deliberate path across his skin. As expected, you look delicious, Shidou-san. She purred. Don't worry. Instead of pain, you'll experience something much sweeter when you meet your end tonight. Shidou struggled. Kurumi-san, stop. This isn't the real you, I know it. She tilted her head. Oh? And what makes you think that? Because, you're not a monster, he pleaded. You have kindness in you, I've seen it. Her smile widened, but there was no amusement in her eyes. Unfortunately, Shidou-san, what you see now is the real me. She pressed the revolver against his forehead. Accept reality and become part of. A shadow loomed over them. Ara, that's enough, don't you think? A new voice echoed through the alley. The clone stiffened. Slowly, she turned her head only to see her own reflection staring back at her. The original Kurumi Tokisaki stood there, clad in her usual high school uniform, a knowing smile on her lips. Shidou's breath hitched. Another Kurumi-san. The clone's grip on the gun tightened. Why are you stopping me? The original giggled. Because there's no need for this anymore. Revenge leads nowhere, you know? I learned that from someone with blonde hair, and I refuse to end up like his emo friend. The clone's expression darkened. You're insane. Who is this man you mentioning now? Don't tell me you've lost your mind. Is that disobedience I hear? The original's voice dropped into something darker, something sinister. Shadows coiled around her like living creatures. The air grew thick with an unnatural presence. A black mist slithered at her feet, taking shape. A massive black dog emerged from her shadow, its crimson eyes glowing with a hunger far more terrifying than any gun. The clone staggered backward. What? Where did you get this power? The beast lunged. Before she could finish her sentence, the shadowy jaws consumed her whole. Silence. Shidou's eyes widened in horror. Kurumi-san, he cried out, eyes wide in horror. His gaze snapped to the original Kurumi, who stood unfazed amidst the fading darkness. You? What are you? You're not her. Bring back Kurumi-san to me. The real Kurumi only chuckled, tilting her head playfully. Ara? Didn't you hear what she said, Shidou-san? She placed a delicate hand over her chest. She was just a clone. I am the original. Shidou clenched his fists, his breath ragged. That doesn't make it right. Kurumi sighed. You truly are naive, Shidou-san. A blood-red portal swirled into existence behind her. Well, this was fun, but I'd rather not create any more misunderstandings, like the ones I've seen before. Her golden eye glowed ominously. So, let's part ways here. She turned, ready to leave. Wait. Shidou surged forward, desperation in his voice. Kurumi stopped mid-step. Yes. I know she was a clone, but that doesn't justify your actions. She had emotions, just like you. His voice was firm, unwavering. I know you're not beyond saving, Kurumi-san. Deep down, you're not a monster. For the first time, Kurumi's expression shifted if only slightly. Shidou took a deep breath and pressed on. I swear, I will save you and the other spirits too. I'll create a world where you all can live in happiness and peace. Silence. Then. Ah ha ha ha. Kurumi erupted into laughter, covering her mouth as if he had just told the most adorable joke. My, Shidou-san, even made me shed a tear. She dramatically wiped the corner of her eye. Such a sweet dream you have, but tell me, how exactly do you plan to accomplish that? Her smirk grew. Please, humor me. Shidou's gaze didn't waver. I'll steal your kiss and make sure you have a normal life in this world. His voice was resolute. I don't know your past, but I want to. And once I do, I'll help you, Kurumi. Kurumi blinked. Then she grinned. You really are a good boy, aren't you? Her crimson eye gleamed with amusement. But unfortunately, Shidou-san, you're too late. She turned away, stepping toward the portal, but then, as if remembering something, she glanced over her shoulder. Ah, one more thing, she giggled. If you ever meet a tall man with white hair and sharp eyes, my advice is simple. Her gaze darkened. Run. Shidou stiffened. Who is he? Kurumi only chuckled. Who knows? But if that silly guy were listening right now, I bet he'd love to challenge you to a duel, and send you straight to the hospital for a few days. With that, she disappeared into the portal. Shidou exhaled, realizing he'd been holding his breath. His fists clenched. Kurumi-san. I swear, next time, I'll make you fall for me. Side end. Chapter 106, Chapter 86. Sovereign of Legends. I'm not done. Damn it, I can't even lift a finger. What the hell did that chicken do to me? But as he struggled, his fellow evil dragons surrounded him. They weren't here to help. Their glaring eyes and disdainful snarls made their intent crystal clear. One dragon huffed derisively. How unsightly, for an evil dragon to be humiliated by a fool in a chicken costume. Another let out a deep rumbling chuckle. Perhaps Crom Kruik is but a shadow of his former self. A disgrace to our kind. Then, one voice cut through the murmurs, cold and hungry. We should eat him. Crom's blood ran cold. What? It is our law, is it not? The strong devour the weak. It is the way of evil dragons. Another dragon licked its fangs, grinning. His power, even if diminished, would make a fine meal. Crom gritted his teeth, fury boiling within him. You bastards! You dare strike me only when I'm weak. Cowards! He forced himself to move, to rise to fight. But his body refused to obey. His vision blurred. His limbs trembled. Pain exploded in his skull. Damn it! No! No! The great Crom Kruik will not fall like this. Stay away from me, you bastards! A massive shockwave erupted from the battlefield. The encroaching dragons were blasted back as a single figure stepped forward. The air grew thick with killing intent. Eyes blazing, aura crackling, Fatalis entered the fray. The dragons snarled, furious. Grrrrrrrr! Do you dare steal our prey? Unforgivable! Let's teach this newcomer a lesson. But Crom Kruik only stared at his unexpected savior, his mind reeling. You're with that chicken bastard. Why save me? Fatalis glanced down at him. Then she stomped his head into the dirt. Crom choked on dust, his body spasming under the sheer weight of her power. A suffocating chaotic aura pressed against his broken form. "Watch your tongue, brat, when you speak of my little puppy." Her voice was like steel cold and absolute. "You should be grateful I haven't torn you apart myself." Crom wheezed, coughing. "Ack. I meant no disrespect, Great One." His gaze flickered upward, desperate. "So that man, he is one of your underlings, hey?" A bitter laugh. "No wonder he was able to do this to me." Fatalis crouched down, leveling her eyes with his. "Do you want to live?" Crom froze. His pride screamed at him to spit in her face to tell her that he, Crom Kruuk, would never grovel before another. But the overwhelming presence of death crushed those thoughts before they could form. He swallowed hard. "Why yes." His voice was hoarse. "Desperate. Like hell I'm dying here of all places." Fatalis tilted her head slightly. "Then what can you offer me?" Her voice was deceptively soft. "Choose your words carefully. Your fate is in my hands now." Crom's heart pounded. He had nothing left. No strength. No bargaining power. There was only one answer. Everything. He gritted his teeth. "My loyalty. My service. I will follow you if you save me." A slow smirk curled on Fatalis' lips. "Splendid." She rose to her feet, her gaze shifting to the other dragons. Her next words were spoken with the weight of an unbreakable law. "This idiot is under my protection now. If you wish to harm him..." Her aura darkened, the very air warped and trembled under her power. "You will answer to me." But the dragons only laughed. A deep, guttural chuckle, rising into a sinister chorus. Then, "Ha ha ha ha! You think you alone can stop us?" From the shadows, a massive form emerged. A colossal 8-headed serpent, its glowing red eyes filled with malice. "My name is Yamata no Orakai." The 8 heads snarled in unison. "You'd do well to remember the name of your killer." Then, a second dragon stepped forward. Its obsidian scales gleamed, its blackened wings spreading wide. A futile effort. A voice like thunderous decay. "I am Nidhogg, the plague of the north. You shall be my feast." Then, the third. A hulking beast of pure muscle, his twisted horns dripping with dark energy. His eyes burned with unrelenting rage. Grendel, the bringer of destruction and brutality. His clawed fists clenched, cracking the very ground beneath him. "You will know fear." The 3 dragons surrounded Fatalis, their combined pressure suffocating. But Fatalis only sighed. "You leave me no choice, then." A dark mist curled around her form. And from her mouth, she pulled forth a weapon. A massive, obsidian greatsword, its surface dripping with malevolent energy. The very air howled in agony as the blade was unsheathed. Its edges hummed with hunger thirsting for blood. Fatalis held it aloft, her eyes gleaming with dark amusement. "Yes. This blade suits me well." Her lips curled into a deadly grin. "Magnificent, ebony blade." The battlefield crackled with unseen tension as Fatalis pulled the massive, blackened sword from her mouth. Its surface pulsed with malevolent energy, distorting the very air around it. A shiver ran down Arthur's spine. His grip on Excalibur tightened, but his hands were clammy with sweat. His heart pounded. "Arthur? You okay, buddy?" The monkey tilted his head, his usual playful smirk fading as he noticed his friend's pale face. Arthur didn't respond at first. His eyes were locked onto Fatalis, onto that blade dripping with abyssal power. Then, his sister's voice broke through. "Brother, your face is so pale. What's wrong?" She had never seen him like this before. He had always been calm, steady, unshaken. Until now. Arthur swallowed hard. What is that weapon?" His voice trembled. "I can feel it, pure, monstrous corruption." But it wasn't just him. The fragments of Excalibur trembled in his grasp, reacting in ways they never had before. For the first time, the legendary holy sword knew fear. It was as if something ancient and unfathomable was watching from the abyss, waiting to devour them whole. Albion's voice rumbled inside Valyana's mind. Valyana! Are we going to help your sister's wife? The great dragon sounded unusually anxious. Fighting one evil dragon is troublesome enough even in my prime. But 3? That's madness. Valyana's sharp eyes stayed locked onto the battlefield. Then, she smirked. Wait, Albion. Look at her eyes. Albion hesitated. And then he saw it. No hesitation. No doubt. No fear. Only absolute confidence. She doesn't believe in defeat. Valyana crossed her arms. We step in only if things go out of control. But until then. She grinned. Let's enjoy the show. The very land trembled. Lightning split the sky. The 3 evil dragons roared as they charged forward, their power colliding against the atmosphere itself. Die, Elder Dragon! The battle had begun. But Fatalis only tilted her head, unfazed by their combined assault. Deep inside, she chuckled. Let's see, from his memories, this is how those demon slayers use their sword techniques. Her left foot shifted forward. Her blade rose upright, the hilt aligned with her right shoulder. Her flames burned brighter, twisting around the ebony blade. And then she whispered. With my fire and blade, there is nothing I cannot cut. Nothing I cannot burn to ashes. Her wings flared wide. One sword style. Black dragon fly. With a single, unstoppable swing, Fatalis unleashed hell itself. A colossal, black dragon-shaped slash erupted from her blade, spiraling with overwhelming power. It ripped through the air, growing stronger with every rotation. Before finally colliding with the 3 evil dragons. Impossible! Gaia Arg! See curse you! A devastating shockwave tore through the battlefield. The very earth fractured. Mountains in the distance crumbled. And when the dust finally settled, the 3 evil dragons lay defeated. The once mighty alliance of evil dragons had been utterly crushed. Their bodies lay broken, scorched, and trembling from the overwhelming force of Fatalis' attack. But the destruction did not stop with them. The entire battlefield had been erased. Their stronghold obliterated. Their land reduced to ruins. The onlookers stood in stunned silence. Their jaws hung open, their minds struggling to comprehend what they had just witnessed. A single elder dragon had annihilated 3 of the most feared monsters in history. Arthur barely breathed. He swallowed. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. Even Albion, one of the mightiest dragons to ever live, was at a loss for words. The 3 evil dragons twitched, their forms convulsing as the energy within them began to unravel. One of them, his voice laced with seething hatred, hissed. This isn't over. His eyes burned with the promise of vengeance. You may have won today. He staggered back, glaring at Fatalis. But the darkness will rise again. And with that, the 3 beaten dragons fled. Their roars of agony and fury echoed across the broken wasteland. Fatalis tilted her head, watching them retreat. She sighed. They like brats. With a slow, fluid motion, she tilted her head back, then swallowed her massive sword whole, sealing it away within her being. Her form shimmered, shifting from majestic elder dragon to a strikingly beautiful woman. Her long blue hair cascaded over her shoulders, her piercing red eyes gleaming with amusement. She barely had a moment to adjust before Valyana's group approached. Crom Kruuk, still recovering, blinked in disbelief. His savior, the monstrous dragon that had annihilated 3 evil dragons, was this breathtaking woman. Fatalis smirked, stepping forward. Hello, Valyana-chan, she purred, extending a hand in a polite greeting. Do you like what you see? Valyana's breath hitched slightly. There was no hesitation in Fatalis' approach, just pure confidence and mischief. Valyana could feel heat creeping to her cheeks but maintained her usual smirk. "You're strong, Fatalis-san. Your power is absolutely stunning." She clasped Fatalis' hand briefly, her tone turning slightly more eager than usual. "We should spar sometime. It'll strengthen our bond." Fatalis tilted her head playfully. "Strengthen our bond? Oh my!" Her lips curled into a teasing smile. "Are you perhaps our leader's secret girlfriend Naya?" Kurika, ever the instigator, gasped dramatically. "Oh! No wonder boss is so interested in you, Fatalis-san. You're crazy strong." Baikao nodded in agreement, grinning. "True, true. But to think our leader walks that way. Well, I can only respect her taste." "Ah, we got busted, Valyana-chan." Fatalis clung onto Valyana's arm, pressing against her in an overly affectionate manner. Valyana's eyebrow twitched, barely holding back a groan of annoyance. "By the way," Fatalis added, still latched onto her, "thank you all for being nice to my Tsundere white dragon. I owe you one." Valyana's face darkened instantly. "Who are you calling Tsundere?" she snapped. But her flustered expression betrayed her. Baikao laughed nervously, watching the interaction. "Ahaha! It's okay, Fatalis-sama. We're already used to her personality." He scratched the back of his head. "I'm Baikao, by the way. Descendants of Sun Wukong. Nice to meet ye." He was surprised. He had expected Fatalis to be prideful and strict, but she was way too easygoing for someone that just humiliated 3 legendary evil dragons. Morgan bowed politely. "I'm Morgan Le Fay. And this is my brother, Arthur Pendragon." Arthur stepped forward, eyes gleaming with curiosity. "Can you tell me the name of your blade?" he asked without hesitation. "I've never seen or heard of such a weapon existing in this world." The air grew colder. Fatalis' playful aura dimmed just slightly, her red eyes narrowing. "My blade," she echoed, tilting her head. Then, her smile returned, but it carried a subtle warning. "Ah, it's a secret," she said lightly. She leaned forward slightly. "But believe me, young man, you're better off not knowing where it comes from." Arthur felt a chill run down his spine. Morgan, sensing the shift in atmosphere, quickly bowed again in apology. I am sorry for my brother's rudeness, Fatalis-sama," she said quickly. "He's just naturally drawn to knowledge he doesn't understand." Fatalis chuckled softly, the tension dissolving. "It's fine, little one." She placed a finger under Morgan's chin, lifting it slightly. "The pursuit of knowledge is natural." But her tone dropped just a fraction. "You should always know when to stop digging." Morgan nodded rapidly. "Understood." Arthur sighed in defeat. Fine, fine. I'll stop asking." A deep chuckle came from the side. Krom Kruik had been watching everything unfold, and his grin widened. He stepped forward, shifting into his human form, a tall, muscular man with piercing eyes. "Big sis," he said smoothly, crossing his arms. "You're incredible." He exhaled. "You're strong, beautiful, wise, and you even tamed the bearer of the white dragon, Albion." He dropped to one knee, bowing his head. "This Krom is honored to be yours from now on." The group froze. Fatalis blinked, then laughed lightly. My, you have quite the sweet tongue, don't you, Krom-kun?" She placed a hand on her hip. Then, with a small smirk, she added. "But I have no interest in men, my apologies." Krom didn't even flinch. He grinned wider. "That's not a problem, big sis," he declared. His eyes gleamed with determination. "We dragons can change our gender at will. If that's what it takes, I'll become a woman. Please, accept me into your harem." And with the last of his remaining strength, Krom Kruik did a full dogza. The entire group went silent. Baikou's jaw dropped. Kurika choked on her own laughter. Arthur and Morgan looked at each other in sheer disbelief. Even Albion, within Valuna's soul, let out a stunned, "What?" Fatalis slowly turned to Valyuna, her red eyes twinkling mischievously. "Oh my, you hear that, Valyuna-chan? This could be fun." She winked playfully. Valyuna face-palmed. "Fatalis." "No." Fatalis pouted. "Yes. Please." Valyuna let out a deep sigh. Then, without another word, she grabbed Krom Kruik by the collar, dragging him like a misbehaving pet. "We'll take him to our house and heal him first." Her voice was exhausted but firm. "We can talk about whatever this is later." She turned to her team. "You all go rest before the next meeting is announced. See you later." With that, she vanished, Krom still in tow. 3 hours later. Satria Mansion. Kyoto, Japan. Assalamu alaikum. "I'm home." Satria go to the living room. It was tastefully decorated with soft touch, earth-toned furnishings, family photos lining the walls, a plush, oversized couch facing the fireplace, piled high with soft blankets and pillows. "Welcome back, Danasama. How's your day?" Satria wrapped an arm around his wife's shoulder and drew her close. "Many things happen, but only you the best thing that happened to me, my dear Snakeheim. Now love and pamper me." "Sure you are truly my spoiled boy, are you?" "Yes. I am." Kyoheim scooped Satria up in her chest, she tightened her hold on him, feeling a profound sense of gratitude for the love they shared. When the couple enjoyed the moment, someone stepped out of the tub, wrapped herself in a plush towel, and walked towards the couple. "Oh! Senpai is already home, that's fast. Konako, you are so adorable, like the first time I met you in that school. Why did you wander around like that? Have you forgotten there is a healthy man in this house? He probably can be dangerous for you. We already spent so many days deepening our connection and intimacy in Bali, Senpai, there's nothing to hide anymore." Konako goes to her room and picks up her nightgown. After the change, she slipped it onto the couple, feeling a comfortable warmth. "It does not mean I'm satisfied, Senpai, you need to love and mate me more, hehe." "What a concedience, I feel the same too, Danasama. Whose you want to start? Feel free to choose between us." Kyoheim takes off her kimono, showing her bountiful breast, thinking there's still time before dinner. Satria starts with Konako first, with fingering her vagina and sucked her small breast. "Naya, don't suck my breast too hard, Senpai, because the milk is not going to come out. Without the Kurumi-san drug it's impossible, except you fill my belly with your child." "How shameful, I want to have a taste of your delicious milk actually, but it's not gonna stop me, so let's conti." Kyoheim. Phew, you love to be squeezed, right? How do you feel now?" Kyoheim doing pagerie to her husband's penises. "I feel wonderful, this is the best. I can't hold this any longer. Gonna. WTF. When they focus on pampering their husband, the intruder suddenly enters the house and watches the lewd interaction with a blank face, trying to understand what they are doing right now. "Who are you?" Thanks to her training with Satria and Naruto, Konako is already on guard for anticipating what work needs to be done in every situation. Kyoheim eyes open wide after she realizes the identity of the intruder. It's the strongest number 2 in this world. "Konako-chan, stop, what you face right now is something out of your league. What you need from us, Ouroboros dragon?" Kyoheim asked the reason of Ouroboros dragon coming to this household. "Kyoheim, the mad dragons, what are you doing with my subject?" "Subject?" Kyoheim gives a sharp gaze to her husband. "Wait. You know each other?" "Not a subject but a work colleague, more fitting to explain our relationship." "Yes, Danasama, I mean, she invited me to her group 70 years ago, but I rejected the offer. Why did you become a little girl? I'm very sure you were an old man when you met me in the past, and you interrupted my mating season with my husband." "Husband?" Mating? So. This is mating? Interesting, let's see what's gonna happen when I do this to your big things. Hey! Don't touch my Danasama dick like a toy bitch. Leave him alone. Kiyohime trying to separate Offis from Satria. Kia him-san is right. I don't care if you are one of the strongest beings in this world, but you need to have approval from another wife to do this with my senpai. The three girls rubbed together the dick of Satria without mercy. Oi! Oi! Don't rub my Johnny without permission. If you three keep doing this. Okay. I'm done. Satria released a lot of white fluid to the three girls' faces, they are totally in a mess. What is this? Offis licks the white fluid that covers her face, she instantly falls in love with the tastes of him, for each sip reveals multiple layers of heavenly flavor, creating a complex and harmonious blend. More. Give me more of your white fluid. No? In order to do that we need to know each other more, and you must ask my wife permission first. I am just an innocent little puppy who doesn't have control over that. Satria raised his hand in surrender, for he doesn't want to interfere as usual in the girl's business. Danasama is right. Tell us your reason for what makes you interested in our husband. Kiyohime curious about the relationship between her husband and the strongest number 2 in this world. Offis nodded. My reason is the meal he prepares is so delicious and thoughtfully made, which is impossible to let go of him. It's part of the deal for me to protect him in exchange for helping me defeat the Great Red, and entrancing humans I am interested to observe now. Ha ha ha. I always know the fastest way to conquer women's hearts is through her stomach. Satria laughed with a proud face and received a hit in the head from his two wives. Baka-senpai. Konako feels his mate is being sarcastic to her. Phew phew phew. You want to die that badly, hey? With a twisted smile and eyes filled with a dangerous blend of love and madness, Kiyohime tightened her grip around Satria's neck. Satria paled. Wait, wait, wait. A crack echoed through the room. Then. Tolong. As Satria's lifeless body slumped forward, Offis blinked in confusion. Her presence darkened, a terrifying aura spreading. How dare you kill my chosen one, she stated coldly, a hint of genuine rage flickering in her usually emotionless eyes. Konako sighed, stepping between them. Stop. Senpai isn't dead. Offis tilted her head. Konako crossed her arms. It's just a tradition in this household. Offis blinked, clearly processing the absurdity of the situation. A tradition. A golden glow surrounded Satria's lifeless body as Kiyohime activated the Osiris ring. From the source of self-knowledge, the well of creation. I return. In the next second. Satria sat up, completely resurrected and in full health. A familiar voice rang in his head. Reminder, your skill is on cooldown for 3 days. If you die again, it's game over. Satria groaned internally. Yeah, I already prepared countermeasures, but, thanks for the reminder, Goldie-kun. Kiyohime clapped her hands together sweetly. Aira, welcome back, Danasama. I'm sorry I killed you today. Satria rubbed his temples. You say that like it's a normal thing. Kiyohime tilted her head innocently. Well, isn't it? Satria sighed in defeat. Look, just don't do it again, okay? Where else in this world can you find a husband as adorable and gallant as me? A moment of silence. Then. Host, you're insane. I'm not insane. This is just what they call taking full responsibility. Only cowards run from their wives' wrath. Kiyohime smirked. Phew, you're right, Danasama. Konako sighed. Baka-senpai. Offis had been silently watching everything, taking in the chaos with her usual blank expression. Then Satria reached out and patted her head. The lowly dragon froze. The moment his hand touched her hair, an unfamiliar sensation washed over her. Warmth. Comfort. Security. Ah-Fai's eyes widened slightly. Idiot! Her voice was quiet, but she didn't move away. Satria grinned. Haha, so you do care about me, hey? Good girl. He continued to gently ruffle her hair, as if he were petting a beloved cat. Ah-Fai stayed still, processing the new sensation. It felt nice. This was different from anything she had ever experienced before. Was this what humans called affection? For a moment, she forgot her original purpose. Then, without warning. Are you really human? Satria blinked. Ah-Fai looked straight into his eyes. Tell me your true name. Satria smirked. Then, without hesitation, he took a bold step forward, chest puffed out, and struck a victorious pose. I am indeed human, Ah-Fai. However, a dramatic gust of wind blew behind him, despite being indoors. I am also the one who stands atop all races. He pointed to the sky, a voice filled with confidence. My name is Satria, the legend of legend. The room fell silent. Then, Konako deadpanned. Pervert senpai. Satria blinked. Hey! Kiyohime turned red, eyes twitching. Danasama. Her voice lowered dangerously. Put your pants on first before striking a pose, you baka. Satria looked down. He was still half naked. Damn it! He quickly grabbed his pants and put them on, face completely red. This is your fault, not mine. Kiyohime threw a pillow at his face. How is it our fault? And then, for the first time in her long existence, Ah-Fai laughed. Not a chuckle. Not a smirk. An actual laugh. It was small at first, but then it grew an innocent, amused giggle, as if she were experiencing joy for the first time. Kiyohime and Konako froze. They blinked in disbelief. Ah-Fai, the Infinity Dragon, the embodiment of eternal void, the most feared being in existence, was laughing. Ah ha ha ha. It was genuine. You are unique, indeed. Ah-Fai wiped her eye, her expression still holding a ghost of a smile. But then her face turned serious again. However, she slowly raised her hand. To claim that you stand above all races, you must prove it to me. She snapped her fingers. And in an instant, Satria vanished. He blinked, finding himself in an endless void. All around him, an ancient symbol glowed, a serpent devouring its own tail, representing the cyclical nature of existence. Ah-Fai's voice echoed through the space. Welcome to my private dimension. Satria grinned. Ha, so, what now? Ah-Fai slowly descended before him, her aura shifting. Now, you prove yourself. A dark energy crackled around her. Show me, Satria, if you are truly worthy to stand atop all races. Satria grinned. As you wish, milady. Without hesitation, he summoned two radiant devices, their golden glow illuminating the endless abyss. Goldie! Show this dragon girl what we're made of. System response, fusion sequence initiated. Affirmative. Legend driver and legend bracelet. Fusion. Complete. Ultimate legend unlocked. Satria's body was engulfed in a torrent of golden light, his very essence reshaping into something divine. The transformation shook the very fabric of reality, as if the universe itself was acknowledging his ascension. When the light faded, he stood transformed. A warrior of legends incarnate. Clad in majestic golden armor, he radiated an aura of absolute dominion. His presence was both awe-inspiring and comforting, like the sun illuminating the world after a long night. Every inch of his form exuded power and grace, his very existence a testament to ultimate strength and nobility. With a confident smirk, he stepped forward. Let me show you the power of the Golden Emperor. For the first time in eons, Ophis felt something strange. Her eyes widened slightly as she observed his radiant form. She had encountered countless beings throughout her existence, gods, dragons, demons, and heroes. But this was different. This power. She murmured, studying him. It's unlike anything I've ever seen in this world. Her usually emotionless face softened, her lips parting slightly in thought. You are strong, yet warm. She blinked, processing the unfamiliar sensation in her chest. Beautiful, even. Satria raised an eyebrow. Oh? Didn't expect that kind of compliment from the Ouroboros dragon herself. Ophis ignored his remark. Her expression became serious again. Now, I no longer need to hold back my power. Be ready to face my... Before she could even finish, Satria moved. Not with speed. Not with force. With something beyond comprehension. One moment, he stood afar. The next. He was already before her, his hand gently resting against her massive dragon head. Ophis froze. His touch was gentle yet firm, powerful yet soothing. And then... the world around them shifted. The infinite abyss vanished, replaced by a realm of breathtaking beauty. Towering crystal spires pierced the heavens, their surfaces reflecting golden light. Ethereal cities of pure energy floated in the sky, radiating warmth and harmony. It was a place beyond time, beyond mortal comprehension. A realm that embodied balance, peace, and protection. Satria's voice was calm, yet commanding. Tell me, Ophis. He looked into her infinite, abyssal eyes. Why do we fight? Ophis remained silent. Satria's gaze didn't waver. We fight only to protect. To preserve balance. To ensure harmony. His hand glowed with golden energy as he ran it gently along her massive dragon scales. Not to destroy. Not to claim superiority. Ophis continued to stare. Satria smiled. So, how about we stop this senseless fight? His golden aura flared gently, enveloping her in warmth. Instead, why don't we take the time to get to know each other? I mean, honestly, I don't really want to hurt a majestic being like you. Seems like a waste, don't you think? A long silence followed. Then, Ophis tilted her head. Her eyes flickered, as if contemplating something deeply. Her next words shook the very foundation of existence. Make offspring with me. Now. Satria's brain short-circuited. Hha. Ophis nodded seriously. Your power is strong. Your presence is warm. You are, fitting. She stepped closer, unwavering. I wish to bear your children. Wait a damn minute. To be continued. Chapter 107, Side Story, Fangs of the Black Cat. Babon POV. Because I was reincarnated as a sword, I became quite different from humans in many ways. I can function 24 hours a day without needing rest, as long as I have energy. That's usually a good thing, but there is one major downside. During the night, I can see and hear everything. And right now, for the third night in a row, my wielder is masturbating behind me. I tried to block it out, to ignore the sounds, the scent, everything. But as a sword, I have heightened senses. So there's no escaping it. Is this what they call mating season? Or, is it because she was with that idiot playboy before? No, no, no way. I refuse to believe my wild imagination. But come on. Is there really no one else more suitable for her than that bastard? Someone, please, save her from him. Fran's POV. My crotch is tingling non-stop. Fran's fingers worked feverishly as she tried to satisfy herself. I can't. Nothing I do feels like my lord's touch. Her body shuddered violently as she climaxed for the third time that night. Panting, she collapsed onto the bed, her body still hot from desire. I need to visit him next week, she mumbled, frustrated. This is all his fault, and he will take responsibility for it. Just as she was about to drift off, her smartphone rang. The smartphone her husband had created and gifted to her, an advanced device that, according to him, used subspace communication to connect their worlds. She often wondered. Is he an idiot or a genius? Maybe both. But either way, he was her idiot. As she grabbed the smartphone, a notification popped up. Your husband has defeated 2 dragons at once. Phew phew phew. As expected of my lord. Your husband has died. Ha! That fool actually. Your husband has resurrected. Of course. Kia Him-san's doing, no doubt. Fran sighed deeply. I swear, I'm going to knock him out when I return. Then the phone buzzed again, a video call from her husband. She sighed but accepted it. Underscore. Video call conversation. Satria, hello, dear, how are you? Anything fun happening there? Fran, I'm fine. Tomorrow, I'm heading into a dungeon with Amanda-san to clear a mission from guild. After that, I plan to explore the next town. She paused, narrowing her eyes. More importantly, why did Kia Him-san punish you? You better not lie, my love. Satria, oh. About that. So, the strongest dragon in my world showed up out of nowhere, and after I defeated her, she, kind of. Fran spit it out. Satria's she kept pressuring me to mate with her. Fran's cold smile appeared instantly. Fran, and? You already did the deed with her, without our approval. Satria, no. No. That's why I'm calling. I called you and Kurumi, as I promised. I won't take another without my beloved wife's approval. Fran crossed her arms. Fran, hand the phone to her. I want to talk to this dragon before making any decisions. Satria hesitated but eventually turned the phone. And there she was. A black-haired loli in a Chinese dress appeared on the screen, her expression unreadable. Fran's smile grew sharper. Fran, so, you're the one my husband is talking about. Off eyes blinked, tilting her head slightly. Off eyes, and you must be another wife of my mate. Fran's smile froze. Fran, your mate? I haven't given you approval yet. Off eyes stared at her for a moment before nodding. Off eyes, very well. Shall I introduce myself properly? Off eyes took a step closer to the screen. Off eyes, I am Off eyes, the infinite dragon god. I have existed since the beginning of time and stand as one of the strongest beings in existence. Fran raised an eyebrow. Strong? So what? Fran, and you believe that alone is enough to make you my lord's mate? Off eyes remained unfazed. Off eyes, no. That is why I am here, to earn my place. Fran's blue eyes glowed slightly with amusement. Fran, is this your first time having a mate? Off eyes remained silent for a moment, as if carefully choosing her words. Then, she slowly nodded. Off eyes, yes. It is my first time. Fran narrowed her eyes slightly, studying Off eyes' expression. Fran, then why? What about him caught thou interest? Off eyes placed a hand over her chest, her gaze distant, as if struggling to understand her own emotions. Off eyes, I don't fully understand it myself, but his power, his warmth, they stir something within me. She clenched her fingers slightly. Off eyes, for as long as I have existed, I have watched mortals form bonds, friendship, family, love. I never cared for such things. Her voice softened, a hint of vulnerability creeping in. Off eyes, but when I met him, I felt something I had never felt before. His presence is unlike any other. I wish to experience what you mortals have. To understand this feeling. Fran's expression softened, but she remained composed. She tapped her fingers on the table thoughtfully. Fran, I see. Satria, who had been holding his breath, cautiously spoke up. Satria, so, how do you feel about this, dear? Fran exhaled, crossing her arms. Fran humph. It's rare to see someone like her this genuine. But... She gave Offeyes a sharp look. Fran, if you want to be part of our family, you must prove yourself. It's not just about power, Offeyes. Can you be by his side not only in battle but in life? Offeyes nodded firmly. Offeyes, I am willing to learn. Fran smirked. Fran, good, then let's put that to the test later, shall we? Satria gulped. Satria, oh boy. Here we go. The forest path was calm, save for the rustling of leaves underfoot as Fran and her companion advanced toward their destination, the spider dungeon. It was a high-risk raid, one that required skilled adventurers, and Fran had agreed to join the guild's party for this mission. Despite her overwhelming strength, she chose to remain in her normal form rather than her adult transformation. It was more practical, lighter for movement, and most importantly, she had no interest in flaunting her true form and power to strangers. As they approached the rendezvous point, a familiar voice called out. Fran Chan. Long time no see. Before Fran could react, a pair of arms wrapped around her in a tight hug. Amanda, the lively elf adventurer, was grinning as she embraced the black cat girl who had saved her life a month ago. Fran, though not the most expressive, returned the greeting with composed politeness. You too, Amanda-san. It is an honor and privilege to be in thy presence this midday. Amanda blinked, momentarily taken aback. Oh my! Since when did you start speaking so formally? You feel different, Fran Chan. More mature. More noble. Her sharp elf senses didn't lie. Fran had changed. There was a newfound grace in her demeanor, a weight to her presence that hadn't been there before. Before Fran could answer, a grating voice interrupted. TCH. Look at this brat, pretending to be all high and mighty. A muscular man, an adventurer with a scowl permanently etched on his face, sneered at Fran. He was one of the fools Satria had humiliated in the past. Leeching off the guild master, getting an unfair rank up, and now calling herself B-rank? Ha! There's no way some black cat kid is stronger than me. You must have cheated. Amanda turned to him with an amused smirk. Oh dear, did someone wake up on the wrong side of the bed? She reached out and, before he could react, clamped her fingers around his skull in an iron claw grip. Gah! Wait, stop! I saw my life flash before my eyes. I'm sorry, okay. I'm sorry. The other adventurers chuckled as Amanda released him with a smirk. Humph! Much better. With that small nuisance handled, the journey to the dungeon continued. Along the way, the guide explained the mission details and the history of the spider-infested labyrinth. However, one issue persisted. The same annoying adventurer kept trying to provoke Fran. At first, his actions were petty. He accidentally tried to push her into the river, only to slip and fall in himself. Then, he attempted to strike her from behind, only for Fran to sidestep without even glancing at him, causing him to trip face first into the dirt. Every attempt at bothering her ended in complete and utter failure. Fran, meanwhile, simply enjoyed the warmth of the bonfire, ignoring the fool. But then he crossed the line. Hey, hey! Stop ignoring me, you dirty black cat, he taunted with an arrogant smirk. Why so scared to look at me? Even though you are lugging around that big-ass sword? Ha! Is it just for a show? A little toy to make yourself feel big? Silence! The air grew heavy. Fran's blue eyes flicked toward him, and in one fluid motion, her sword was drawn, its blade resting just inches from the man's exposed throat. You dare, she whispered, her voice devoid of emotion. Thou hath chosen violence. Very well. I shall grant thy wish. Just her eyes gleamed dangerously. Do not regret thy foolishness. The adventurer stiffened. Sweat trickled down his temple as he swallowed hard. His instincts screamed at him this girl was not normal. His pride told him to stand his ground. His survival instincts told him to run. Yet, his comrades only watched, none stepping forward to save him. Who do you think you are, brat? He stammered, trying to sound brave. I won't back down. Fran didn't flinch. Then thou shalt perish a fool. The adventurer felt it, the suffocating weight of her presence, the raw killing intent. His knees nearly buckled. I. Would he yield? Would he fight? Or would this be the last mistake he ever made? Ugh! The adventurer took a step back, his bravado faltering as the weight of Fran's presence bore down on him. His instincts screamed at him this was a mistake. But his pride refused to let him back down, not after boasting in front of his comrades. He clenched his fists, forcing a smirk. You said it. Just don't regret it, you shitty brat. Oh! A mock battle. Amanda clapped her hands, grinning. Great idea. A perfect way to get a handle on each other's abilities. Go, Fran Chan. Mama's cheering for you, the elf cheered playfully. The other adventurers took sides, their excitement rising. Go get her, brother. Teach that brat a lesson. Hell yeah. Tear her apart like paper. There's no way she's a real B-rank. The adventurer brandished his spear, his expression dark with determination. I never forgive anyone who abuses or cheats their way up the ranks. And he slammed the butt of his spear into the ground, his aura flaring. Are no exception. With a deep breath, he gathered energy into his lungs. My soul screams. Dragon roar. A shockwave of fiery energy burst from his throat, shaking the air. Go, brother, his comrades cheered. We hear ye. The ground trembled as he took his stance, spear aimed at Fran. He studied her closely, waiting for the right moment to strike. Draw your sword, brat. Fran remained still. I don't need it. His eye twitched. Are you looking down on me? Fran sighed, tilting her head slightly. To be honest. Yes, I am. You're gonna regret that, damned brat. With a roar, he lunged forward, his grip tightening around his spear. His body blurred with speed as he charged, weaving through the battlefield like a seasoned predator. Take my ultimate attack. Fury of the Fire Dragon roar. The surrounding adventurers braced themselves, some even shielding their eyes. The force behind his charge was undeniable, a full-powered attack meant to end the fight in an instant. A smug grin spread across his face. He had her. Or so he thought. Then, he saw it. The impossible. Fran didn't move. She didn't flinch. She simply raised a single hand. And with 2 fingers, she caught his spear mid-thrust. The impact should have sent her flying. It didn't. Instead, the attack stopped dead in its tracks. The air went silent. What? The adventurer's eyes widened in horror. He tugged, trying to free his weapon, but it wouldn't budge. Let go. Let go of my spear, you stupid brat. Fran looked at him with utter indifference. Her fingers, now blackened with an unnatural sheen, tightened slightly. With a simple flick. Snap! The spear shattered into countless fragments, the pieces raining down like dust. The adventurer's face turned pale. Thou art weak. Fran's voice was calm. Cold. Absolute. She stepped forward, her golden eyes piercing through him. Heed my words. Never bother me again. Or face the consequences. Before he could react. Whoosh! She flicked his forehead. A gust of wind exploded from the impact, and the man vanished from sight, launched like a human cannonball straight into the sky. Brother, his comrades screamed. The group stared in stunned silence, watching the spearman's body soar through the air before disappearing over the horizon. A long pause. Then, where exactly did you send him? One of his friends asked, looking at Fran nervously. Is he dead? Another adventurer sighed dramatically. We should build his funeral now. I mean, yeah, he could be an ass, but he was kind of funny sometimes. May the god of light guide his soul to a better life. Amen. Fran dusted off her hands, completely unfazed. Her sentient sword spoke up. Are you sure you didn't overdo it? Fran blinked innocently. No. I held back quite a lot. She wasn't lying. With her newfound devil fruit abilities, a single serious slap could have sent that idiot to another continent. She was merciful. That was incredible. Amanda's eyes sparkled with excitement as she clapped her hands. You're even stronger than I expected, Fran-chan. How about a mock battle with me next? The A-rank adventurer grinned like a predator eyeing its prey. Fran's golden eyes gleamed with interest. A mock battle with thou? I don't mind. When can we start? A fight with an A-rank adventurer. This was exactly what Fran wanted, an opportunity to gauge the difference between her power and the best this world had to offer. She had already endured hell itself. The torturous island of monsters, the overwhelming foes she had met, and the unimaginable strength she had witnessed, all of it had forged her into what she was today. And she would surpass them all. Because she would become a woman worthy of being his blade. Amanda's smile widened at Fran's unshakable resolve. How about, now? Without another word. Crack! Amanda's whip lashed out with terrifying speed, slicing through the air like a thunderclap. Fran didn't move. Instead, she calmly raised her hand and caught the whip between her fingers. A stunned silence fell over the crowd. Amanda blinked. Oh, you even have little cat paws in your tiny hands? How cute, Fran-chan. Fran's voice was calm, composed. My paw is not as cute as thou think, Amanda-san. Allow me to demonstrate. She raised her other hand. And unleashed hell. Hand of liberation. With a flick of her wrist, an invisible shockwave erupted from her palm. The air itself trembled, a translucent cat-shaped claw distorting the space in front of her. The shockwave howled as it tore through the air. Boom! A kilometer of forest vanished. Everything in its path, trees, rocks, the very ground itself, was obliterated in an instant, reduced to nothing but dust. The world stood still. The adventurers watching from the sidelines froze, their breath caught in their throats. Eyes widened. Jaws dropped. One of them whispered, "What?" Another took an involuntary step back. Is a sword mage even supposed to be able to do that? A third adventurer clenched his fists, his voice shaking. She's this young, and already this powerful? I don't even want to imagine what kind of monster she'll become when she grows up. A collective shiver ran through the crowd. The instinct to run clawed at their minds. They were looking at something beyond them. Something terrifying. Amanda, for the first time in years, felt genuine awe. All right, that's enough. She smiled, trying to ease the tension. You're truly amazing, Fran-chan. I'm looking forward to working with someone as brilliant as you. Then, with a flourish, she pulled bottles of fine liquor from her dimensional storage and grinned. Now then. To celebrate the birth of our young hero, tonight's drinks are on me. The tension shattered as cheers erupted around the camp. Hell yeah! With her on our side, the mission's gonna be a breeze. I'm sorry for underestimating you, Fran-san. You're going to be famous someday. Amanda smirked as the adventurers raised their drinks. Kampai. Laughter and warmth spread through the group, as the initial fear melted into admiration. As Amanda watched Fran being welcomed by the party, she smiled to herself. She was certain of one thing. Fran's power would attract attention. kings, nobles, guild masters, people of influence would come for her. And Amanda swore, if any douchebag tried to take advantage of Fran's pure soul, she'd personally beat them into the dirt. To be continued. Chapter 108, Chapter 87. Taming the Evil Dragon. A surge of energy rippled through the world, so powerful it sent shivers down the spines of those attuned to the supernatural. Is Office, unleashing her true power? A voice mused, laced with excitement. What kind of enemy could force her to do that, except... Oh! The energy thickened, pressing against the fabric of reality. The figure chuckled darkly. Ha! He. Maybe it's time for me to join the fun. I don't know who you are, but I will find you. Kyoah Academy, Kyoah, Japan. Boring. The sunlight streamed through the classroom window, casting a warm glow over the rows of desks. Yet, inside, the atmosphere was anything but lively. Satria had chosen to attend school in person today instead of using his clone for the sake of a little peace. Back at home, chaos reigned. Office had been relentlessly assaulting him ever since he revealed his Golden Emperor of Ultra form. To make matters worse, that neat dragon had dragged an evil dragon into the mix to be her new minion. Satria sighed. I leave for a few hours, and it's already a madhouse. A vibration in his pocket pulled him from his thoughts. He pulled out his phone, scrolling through a flood of messages. Investors and the Japanese government. Publishers of Jiraiya's perverted book. The Mu. Employees of his newly founded company. And lastly, Fatalis. Curious, he opened a video message and put in his wireless headset. The screen lit up with Crom in a sailor uniform, dancing and singing an annoyingly catchy song. Meanwhile, Dawn sat in the background, watching in complete silence. The video looped for an hour. Musical note Chikanoko Nakanoko Koshitantan. Musical note. 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 Satria, zzz. Please stop symbol. I swear this song is giving me dear brain rot. I actually feel bad for Crom right now, and this meme is so old. FTS, has your soul and heart already converted to musical note Chikanoko Nakanoko Koshitantan? Musical note, smiling face with open mouth and tightly closed eyes. Satria, no party. FTS, we don't have dear confused face. I had to use whatever I could find, and Vaporeon-chan refused to participate. What do you think of Crom's performance? Satria, I can't lie. She looks cute in that uniform. Surprisingly suits her. FTS, right? Smiling face with open mouth and tightly closed eyes. Now, go home and play with us. Satria, it's only been 7 hours since I left, and I have class. So, nope. FTS, why do you even bother going to school? You're way beyond this, and you can just use your clone. Come on, I can be an animal in bed, and my parents aren't home right now, you know. Satria, you mean the kind of animal that just wants head pats and snacks? Sometimes I think spoiling you was a mistake. Also, since when do you have parents? FTS, nay. What do you take me for? Face with look of triumph for that insult, you must now compliment me 5 to 10 times a day. And remember, school is a scam. The internet said so. Now hurry up and come home to play with me. Satria, below scam. Sabarya bentar logi abi pulang kok, okay? Mao dibawain hajan apa, kantik? Blowing a kiss Tanya juga yang lane, Mao nitype apa. FTS, Mao. FTS, Mao abi disamping bunda selaman ya dot. Satria, Zixa Shixi. Bisa Iabunda. Love you blowing a kiss. FTS, I love you more. Blowing a kiss, blowing a kiss, blowing a kiss. Oh, and bring back okonomiyaki from Sumtaro in Tokyo for me. Dango for Kiyoheim. Mixed flavor ice cream for Konako and Off-Ice. Menchikatsu for Krom. Namba ramen from Osaka for Valyana. Satria, Syup, Boss. _______. The final bell rang through the corridors of Kua High School, signaling the end of another day. Satria stretched, yawning as he stood. The history lecture had been a drag, but at least the day was over. Before he could leave, a familiar voice called out. Shin-san. Satria turned to see Issei, Asia, and Zenobia approaching him. The blue-haired swordswoman had recently joined Ria's peerage after the shocking revelation about God's death, feeling betrayed by the church's secrecy. Yo, Issei. Survived another day, hey. Satria smirked. What's up? Issei's usual carefree demeanor was gone. Do you have any new information about Konako-chan? It's been a month since that bastard kidnapped her, and we've heard nothing. I can't just sit around while my friend is in danger no matter what Baku's brother says. Satria crossed his arms, his expression neutral. I've heard whispers about an organization called the Chaos Brigade, a group of criminals and evil entities who want to bring pure chaos to the world. Asia's eyes widened. Chaos Brigade. Zenobia frowned. Something about that name made her uneasy. Satria continued, if my intel is correct, he has likely joined them. And if that's the case, he's waiting for the right moment to cause real trouble. Issei clenched his fists. That bastard. Asia looked worried. Will Konako-san be okay? Satria exhaled. Hard to say. I haven't been able to leave this city to confirm anything myself, but what I do know is this, inside that group, there's a black cat watching over her. Issei blinked. Black cat. I don't know who they are, but from what I've gathered, they're keeping Konako safe for now. The trio exchanged uneasy glances. That's all I can tell you for now, Satria said, adjusting his bag. I need to head home before my first lady throws a fit. Issei and the others followed him. Wait, Shin-san. They walked side by side, slipping into the easy rhythm of friendship that had formed over the past 2 months. The school hall buzzed with activity, chatter filled the air, locker doors slammed shut, and Satria's persistent fangirls murmured and giggled from the sidelines, much to his growing headache. Did you hear? Parent Day is coming up soon, Shin-san, Issei said, stretching his arms behind his head. Man, having your parents sit in class with you? That's beyond embarrassing. Are your parents gonna? He trailed off when he noticed Asia shaking her head at him, her eyes full of silent warning. Issei instantly realized his mistake. He had learned from Surtsk's queen about Satria's past, his lack of parents, the painful history he rarely spoke about. Regret hit him like a brick. Damn it! But instead of anger, Satria merely smiled. He had already expected them to dig into his history. They weren't as clueless as they sometimes pretended to be. It's fine, he said, waving off their concern. You're both good kids. Bad things happen to everyone. But I don't pray for an easy life. Instead, I pray for strength, the kind that lets me face challenges head-on and come out better than before. There's no point in holding on to grudges or dwelling on the past. His gaze turned firm. As men, we should strive to become more competent, strong enough to handle whatever life throws at us. Even our darkest side. With that, he ruffled both Issei's and Asia's hair, earning very different reactions. Shin-sama, you're so cool. It's like having a big brother. Asia beamed, clearly enjoying the head pat. Nearby, girls watching the scene fumed with jealousy. Issei, on the other hand, turned red. Oi, oi. We're the same age, Shin-san. Don't treat me like a damn kid, especially in public. He groaned, still baffled over how his friend wasn't taking advantage of his popularity. Handsome face, power, charisma, this guy could build a harem in days. Yet, Shin-san acted like he wanted nothing to do with it. Before he could comment, Zenobia suddenly spoke up. You have strength, wisdom, and undeniable power, she said seriously. I want to bear children with a man like that. Do you ever consider having children with me? The hallway went dead silent. What? Issei's jaw dropped. Are you serious, Zenobia? You're just going to say that here, of all places? Having children. Asia turned scarlet, nearly fainting on the spot. Satria blinked. This girl is seriously bold. He let out a small chuckle, shaking his head. I admire your bravery, Zenobia, but my answer is no. Her brows furrowed. Why? Is my body not to your liking? Or, is it because I'm weak? For a moment, silence stretched between them. Then, Satria exhaled. My reason is simple, he said calmly. There's someone I love waiting for me at home. The way he said it with quiet confidence and unwavering devotion made hearts flutter. You should find a man who makes you feel the way she makes me feel, he continued. Good luck with that. And then, to top it off, he flashed a smile, the kind that made girls weak in the knees. Nope, 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 he told himself. I already have too many mouths to feed in my house. No more girls. No more problems. No more punishments. Leave me alone. A chorus of excited squeals erupted from the nearby girls. Kai-a-a-a-a. Shin-sama is so cool. Who's the lucky girl who managed to win his heart? He's so romantic. I wouldn't mind being his secret lover. Zenobia, despite the rejection, simply nodded in understanding. I see. Thank you for your honesty. Then, with a smirk, she added, don't regret it when I end up with someone better than you. Satria chuckled. Sure, sure. How about Issei? He gestured to the Red Dragon Emperor. He may be annoying, but he's a good guy. He never abandons his friends and family. You could do worse. Hey! Why me? Issei panicked. Dude, are you crazy? You're just gonna pass her off to me. Zenobia studied Issei, tapping her chin. The Red Dragon, hey? He's not a bad choice. She smirked. I'll test him later. As they approached the school gates, a tall, tomboyish beauty stood waiting. She leaned against the gate, arms crossed, her denim jacket slightly unzipped to reveal a fitted shirt underneath. Her piercing gaze locked onto Satria. Why is she here? Satria muttered, narrowing his eyes. Ah! It's already that scene, hey? Time sure flies in this world. But I still don't forgive you. Humph! Valyuna waved at him with a smug grin, but Satria turned his head away, his expression set in stubborn defiance. He was still mad at her for a grave offense. She ate his happy meal last night. Worse. She threw away the limited edition toy that came with it. Unforgivable. Albion sighed. This is the man who conquered the Ouroboros? Who's gonna believe this brat is one of the strongest beings in the world? Suddenly, Valyuna smirked. Ah, hubby, are you still mad? That's cute, makes me want to devour him again. Satria shivered. That sadistic grin of hers sent a chill down his spine. You! Valyuna, the White Dragon Empress, Issei muttered, immediately on guard. Valyuna turned toward him with a dangerous glint in her eyes. What did you just call me? Issei gulped as she stepped closer, her aura turning menacing. This is the third time we've met, Red Dragon Emperor, she said, her voice low. And never call me an empress. I am Valyuna, the White Dragon Emperor. If you mess up again, I'll rip your tongue out. Oh okay. Issei stammered, beads of sweat forming on his forehead. His gaze, however, unconsciously dropped to her chest, an instinct honed by years of perversion. Her assets were on par with Rias. Oh, crap! Drake sighed. We're doomed. Before Issei could react, Valyana's fist met his face with the force of a freight train. Bam! He went flying. Issei-san! Asia gasped, rushing to heal him. Meanwhile, Satria just smirked. Sucks to be you, Issei. I already had my fill of those sexy, delicious. He stopped himself. No need to get cocky. Valyana cracked her knuckles and smirked. Humph. Still conscious? I should fix that. But before she could move, two figures rushed in from both sides. Kaiba and Zenobia. Their swords were at her neck. That's enough, Kaiba said firmly. I don't know what you're planning, but you're going too far. I won't allow you to fight Issei here, Zenobia added with her new sword, Durandal. Valyana chuckled, completely unfazed. Oh? You two are seriously threatening me? She glanced at their swords. You're trembling. Even your weapons know how outclassed you are. Neither of them could deny it. Their instincts screamed that she was a monster. Then. Yuato. Zenobia. Stand down. A powerful voice cut through the tension. Rias and Akeno had arrived. Eira Issei-kun, you're all battered up, Akeno said with a playful smile. Don't worry. We'll protect you. White Dragon Emperor, Rias said coolly, crossing her arms. What are you doing here? Valyana scoffed, flipping her hair. Recognizing strength. Acknowledging the power gap between warriors is a mark of a true fighter. She glanced at Kaiba and Zenobia with mild amusement. But honestly, if you struggled against trash and weakling as Kokabeel, you're not even fit to. Slap. Valyana's head snapped to the side. Blood dripped from the corner of her lips. She turned back, her expression blank. Satria was standing there, hand still raised. His cold glare sent a chill down her spine. Shin. Rias murmured in shock. Not bad, Valyana muttered, wiping the blood from her lip. To actually damage me, even a little. That's impressive. But tell me. Her eyes narrowed. Why did you hit me? Satria's tone was calm, but his eyes burned. You pissed me off. Valyana raised an eyebrow. Kokabeel may be many things, he continued, but he is not trash. Say that again in front of me, and you'd better be ready to back it up. The weight in his voice made even Valyana pause. After a long moment, she smirked. Fine. I'll let that one slide. But Issei Hyudo. She turned back to the Red Dragon Emperor, who was still recovering from her punch. How high do you think you rank in this world? Issei blinked. What? I'd say your imperfect balance breaker puts you somewhere between 1000 to 1500 in terms of power level. Maybe even lower, considering your base stats. Issei scowled. What are you getting at? Valyana smirked. Even Surtsk's Lucifer isn't in the top 10. She paused, letting that fact sink in. But we do know who's at number 1. And that rank? It's not changing. For now. Rias tensed. You're saying that person is you? Valyana laughed. Me? No. You'll find out soon enough. She shot Rias a sly look. Train him well. Issei is a valuable player. But remember, no one who gets involved with him has an easy life. Then, she turned to Satria, her smirk widening. And you? Satria simply stared at her. You're not bad for a human, she admitted. But compared to the bearers of sacred gears? You're still lacking. She crossed her arms. It's a shame. Maybe you were never meant to wield one at all. Before Satria could reply, Issei stood up. Don't look down on Shin-san. Issei stood firm, his voice filled with conviction. He might not have a sacred gear like us, but he's a great fighter and someone I respect from the bottom of my heart. Satria blinked. Wow! I'm touched, Issei. Didn't know you felt that way about me. Then, his gaze shifted toward Valyana. Now, as for you. A smirk tugged at his lips. It had been far too long since he last put this naughty dragon in her place. You want me to be rough, don't you? Don't worry, my dragon. I not only would I absolutely will. Albion groaned. Stop. Stop taunting him, partner. Do you have any idea what he's going to do to us later? Oh, I know, Albion. That's the best part. Valyana's face grew flushed, her lips curling into a dangerous grin. Yes, that's the face, Daddy. It's been so long since you looked at me like a dirty little. Albion's mental scream cut her off. You hopeless pervert. We're doomed. Wake up, idiot. Before the conversation could devolve further, a booming laugh echoed across the schoolyard. Ho ho ho. What's this? All this noise just for my precious daughter. An old man in a hakama appeared before them, stroking his beard with an exaggerated fatherly expression. Valyana's entire body stiffened. Who the hell is he? Issei whispered to Rias. Azazel, she answered, eyes narrowing. The leader of the fallen angels. Wait, hold on daughter. Issei's brain short-circuited. Azazel sighed dramatically. To see my dear Valyana finally approaching a man she's interested in, sniff, it makes this old man proud yet heartbroken at the same time. Shut your mouth, Azazel. Valyana exploded, her face a mix of rage and pure panic. I am not your daughter. And I have absolutely no interest in clowns like. She froze. Because she suddenly remembered who else was standing there. Her husband. Satria. And he had heard every word. Her blood ran cold. Slowly, she turned her head toward him. Satria stood still, silent. His glossy, teary eyes shimmered under the sunlight. His posture slumped, his hands fidgeting with his shirt. His head tilted ever so slightly, making him look small and vulnerable. He looked hurt. Oh, no. Oh, shit. Before anyone could say another word, Satria jumped over the school gates and ran. Everyone watched in stunned silence. Where the hell is he going? Issei blurted out. Azazel sighed. Tisk. I wanted to talk to him at least once. And you? He turned to Valyana. You're not running off again, young lady. Last time, you disappeared for a whole month. I am not a pawn you can control, Azazel. Valyana snapped, her tone defiant. I go where I want. And right now. Her body glowed as she activated Balance Breaker. I have something important to do. With a burst of energy, she vanished. Azazel groaned, rubbing his temples. That girl, has she entered a rebellious phase? He let out a long, tired sigh. How troublesome. Then, he turned back to Rias and her peerage. Anyway. Surtsk's little sister and her crew, you're coming with me. I'm not angry. Satria's voice trembled as he wiped his eyes. I'm in pain. And you put me here. The person who's supposed to love me is his voice cracked. Hway. A dramatic wail filled the room. TCH, TCH, TCH. Fatalis shook her head. Valyana-chan, you took this too far. You know he has a fragile heart. Valyana winced. I didn't mean. It's okay, Danasama. Kiyohime smiled warmly, gently patting Satria's head. Valyana-san wasn't ashamed of you. She's very proud to have you as her husband. Kiyohime-san is right, senpai. Another voice chimed in, one of his devoted companions. Not just her, but all of us. It was just a slip of the tongue, right, Valyana-san? You're perfect the way you are, my chosen one. Ayuyu. Naya. Crom sat in the corner, arms crossed, tail flicking in frustration. All of this ridiculous display of affection, was a nightmare. Watching this insufferable human being coddled by powerful beings that should be ruling the world, not playing house, was a harsh reminder of emotions she neither understood nor desired. At first, she was shocked by the sheer power gathered in this place. Ouroboros. Albion. Kiyoheim. The twin wolf beasts radiate immense energy. That weird, eldritch tentacle monster with its unexplained power. And worst of all, Fatalis. Her big sister. Yet, despite all of them being here, the one leading this ridiculous pack was this idiot chicken. Crom scowled. What the heck? Her claws twitched with irritation. Are you telling me this spoiled brat is the same man who defeated us? Can you all stop this? You're spoiling him too much. Fatalis snapped her fingers, making Crom flinch. What are you saying, Crom? As his family, we must cheer him up when his spirit is down. Fatalis scolded, giving her a sharp look. Where's your maternal instinct? Crom's eye twitched. Maternal instinct. Big sis, how the hell am I supposed to have that? We're dragons, we're cold-blooded. And besides, what the hell do you all see in this guy? She pointed to an accusatory claw at Satria, who was still sulking in Valyana's arms. He doesn't even show the qualities of an alpha. Fatalis smirked, shaking her head. Crom-chan, you have a lot to learn. Never judge someone just by their cover. Sure, he acts like a puppy, but... She leaned in with a knowing grin. His power is beyond the puppy. Crom blinked. What the hell is that supposed to mean? Meanwhile, Valyana sighed, her expression softening. Hubby. She cupped Satria's cheeks, forcing him to look at her. I deeply apologize for what I said earlier. You know how much I love you, right? Satria pouted, crossing his arms. He was still a little mad, but he nodded. A mischievous glint flickered in Valyana's eyes. Then, do you want to forgive me? She leaned in close, her lips brushing his ear. If you do, I'll do whatever you want for a whole day. Satria's ears perked up. Really? Valyana smirked and nodded. Okay, you're forgiven. In an instant, Satria jumped into her arms, grinning like an idiot. Now hug me, my beautiful white dragon. Valyana chuckled, wrapping her arms around him. They were finally back to normal. As Satria enjoyed his victory, his gaze casually drifted toward the still sulking Crom. Yo, Crom! He suddenly grinned. The dragon woman's eye twitched. What do you want? I saw your Pok dancing video. Crom froze. Silence. A deadly silence. Then. You are surprisingly adorable, for evil dragon. Satria continued with a wink. LOL. Crom choked on air. Her tail spiked in agitation. You saw that? Satria beamed. Yup. You're so cute when you dance. Maybe you should post more. A growl rumbled in Crom's throat, her entire body shaking with a mix of rage and pure humiliation. You bastard! She pointed a clawed finger at him, eyes glowing with fury. I don't need praise from a man. Her voice boomed like a dragon's roar. Especially a weak man like you. Satria's smirk turned mocking. Weak. He tilted his head. Have you already forgotten who kicked your ass? Crom's teeth gritted. And not only that, who healed you back to your prime? He leaned in, voice dripping with amusement. A little gratitude wouldn't hurt, you know. Crom snarled. You. Her claws dug into the ground, eyes glowing with fury. Satria's smirk widened. Do you need a reminder? Crom snapped. Bring it on, you bastard. She lunged forward, eyes burning with the fire of war. I will never submit to a crybaby like you. A private island untouched by human civilization, hidden near Oceania. The vast land was beautiful and pristine, large enough to build a small country. And today, it served as the battlefield for an earth-shaking rematch. Crom Cruach smirked, standing tall in her humanoid form. Ready? I'm hungry for payback. Her eyes gleamed with battle lust. This time, I'll crush you without hesitation. With a burst of power, she transformed, her enormous dragon form looming over Satria. The ground trembled beneath her as she roared, wings spread wide. Show me your true power. Satria smirked. All right then. Let's dance. With a flick of his wrist, a deck of cards materialized, circling behind him like a halo. Golden platinum. A new stand emerged beside him, a magnificent figure, its color shifting from black to gold, radiating an overwhelming aura of dominance. Crom narrowed her eyes. Something felt off. Her instincts honed from centuries of battle screamed at her. There was another presence. Something, unseen. But she didn't hesitate. She launched herself forward, claws bared, the wind shattering from the force of her charge. Gray. Her punch met an invisible force, sending shockwaves through the island. She pushed, but something pushed back an overwhelming power that threatened to overpower even her dragonic strength. Satria merely crossed his arms, smirking. That cocky expression infuriated her. Her dragonic aura flared, igniting into primal flames as she imbued it into her fists. Take this! But before she could land a solid hit, a barrage of punches, thousands of them, rained down from nowhere, striking her in an instant. What? Crom staggered back, body shaking. Is this? Her rage exploded. Then taste my flames. Her body ignited with purple hot fire, the very flames that surpassed even Drake's. Dragonic. But before she could unleash her devastating attack, Satria lifted a single card, its surface glowing with arcane runes. Grand Magus spell, Albion. The card shimmered, and suddenly, divide. 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 Crom's eyes widened in shock. Her power was halved. Again. And again. What? You're using Albion's power. Albion's voice echoed in outrage. That's our ability. How is this possible? Valiana, however, was grinning. Magnificent, my husband using my power, I'm honored. Satria raised his hand, the golden glow of his stand intensifying. Nothing is impossible before the Golden Emperor. He smirked. And now, it's over. Another card materialized in his hand, this time, with Crom's face on it. Spell Steel. The card dissolved, and suddenly, the very attack Crom was about to unleash, now burned in Satria's hands. The white-hot dragonic flames gathered in his palm, aimed right at her. Crom's eyes widened in rage. You damn copycat! Satria's smirk deepened. Surrender now, or do it? Crom growled, refusing to back down. I don't want mercy from an enemy. Fine. He unleashed the stolen attack stronger than the one she had prepared. The sky turned crimson as the flames surged forward like a tidal wave of destruction. Crom braced herself. Sorry, sis. It's the end. Before the flames could land, a dark blade sliced through them, splitting the massive attack in two, diverting it harmlessly away. Satria blinked. Standing before the impact zone was Fatalis, her dark caliber glowing ominously. You idiot! She snapped at Crom. I didn't give you permission to throw your life away. Crom winced. But. And you? Fatalis turned her glare to Satria. Overdoing it, dear. Satria shrugged, unconcerned. She asked for it. Then he paused. He glanced at Fatalis. Then back at Crom. Then back at Fatalis again. His brows furrowed. Wait a second. His expression twisted in confusion. This may be late. Weren't Crom a dude before? Fatalis smirked. Why does it matter, dear? Offis, who had been munching on a snack nearby, chimed in with a poker face. It's normal for dragons to change gender. Satria stared. Wait. You can do that too. Offis casually nodded. Yes. Satria sighed, rubbing his temples. Great. Weird knowledge increased again. Kiyohime tilted her head, her voice gentle yet curious. What will you do with her, Danasama? Satria stepped forward, his eyes locked onto Crom's defiant gaze. Crom gritted her teeth. Despite her pain, she refused to fall before him. Ugh! So this is why they follow you? She muttered, her breath ragged. You're so strong. Who are you really? Satria smirked, crossing his arms. Ha ha ha! You're still trying to stand. Crom hissed, frustration boiling inside her. Never. Never had she been underestimated like this, especially by an idiot like him. Satria's smirk faded. His expression softened. I'd hate to see a friend of my wife die here, he said, extending his hand toward her. His golden aura flickered, warm yet commanding. If you still want to fight and grow stronger, then... His eyes locked onto hers with unwavering confidence. Join our family, Crom Kruok. 1 hour later. A soft hum of contentment filled the air. Crom lay against Satria's chest, her head resting above his steady heartbeat. His arms wrapped around her in a way that felt protective, secure, something she never thought she'd experience. The faint scent of roses mixed with his cologne, creating a strangely intoxicating blend. It was comforting. Comfortable. His voice was a quiet murmur, the kind that sent warmth down her spine. Crom buried her face against his shirt, refusing to meet his gaze. Very, she admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. I could stay like this forever. But that peace didn't last long. Never submit, my ass. A sudden yank ripped Crom from Satria's embrace, sending her tumbling onto the couch. It's my turn now. Standing triumphantly in her place was Valyana, hands on her hips, glaring at the former evil dragon. No! Crom wailed, reaching for Satria like a lost puppy. Don't separate me from my alpha. Valyana huffed, flipping her silver hair over her shoulder. Alpha, my ass. He's my husband, you dumb lizard. The two glared at each other, sparks practically flying. Then, a bright flash of light filled the room, and the moment it faded, a brown-haired teenager in adventurer gear stood in the middle of the living room, his eyes scanning the absurd scene before him. Yo, Satria. I'm here too. His words died in his throat as his gaze landed on the group of gorgeous women surrounding his friend. A deadly silence fell upon the room. Then, his face twisted in frustration. Holy shit! You damned harem protagonist, he shouted, his voice full of betrayal. What is with all these pretty girls around you? Damn it all! Before he could vent any further, a blade appeared near his throat. Kiyohime had summoned her Naginata, her expression calm yet deadly. Are you an intruder? She asked, her voice icy cold. Kazuma froze, sweat rolling down his neck. How did you enter this house? Valyana narrowed her eyes, already preparing her half-dimension, ready to erase him from existence. Answer truthfully, and I will grant you a painless death. Strange, Offis muttered, staring at him with unreadable eyes. I already strengthened the barrier in this house. No one weaker than me should be able to pass through it. Her dark gaze narrowed. Are you hiding your true power, like him? Kazuma turned pale. Wait. Hold on. He frantically waved his hands in surrender. I'm a friend of Satria-sama. Just a low-rank adventurer from Axel. I swear I have no ulterior motives, ma'am. Kiyohime glanced at her husband for confirmation. Satria grinned. It's true, he said, clapping Kazuma's back. Welcome to my slumber DXD party, my friend. The girls still looked skeptical, but Satria dramatically gestured toward his guest. Ladies, allow me to introduce this wonderful gentleman. Kazuma blinked. Satria spread his arms wide, his voice filled with theatrical flair. He is the leader of Shadow Garden. The darkness of the cosmos itself. A man who lives by the principles of gender equality. Kazuma's face paled. Wait. When you mess with him, even if you're a woman, Satria continued, prepare to be humiliated by his evil schemes, or kicked in the ass by his ultimate power. Kazuma felt a shiver go down his spine. His name is Lord Kazuma. A tense silence followed. The girls exchanged curious glances, intrigued. Valyana cracked her knuckles. A man who doesn't hesitate to fight women. A mischievous smirk curled on her lips. Interesting. Crom gave a calculating look. Shall we test his skills, then? Her eyes gleamed, ready to throw down. Kazuma turned completely pale. What? Hold on a damn second. To be continued. Chapter 109, Chapter 88. Pappy Pappy Boom. You can't escape this mission. Unknown location. A lone figure sat in deep meditation on the surface of a desolate, uninhabitable planet, its mass at least 4.5 times that of Earth. Chaotic mana swirled around him like a raging storm, corrupting the very air and land, turning the entire planet into a festering well of dark energy. This was not the original Satria but rather one of his avatars, an extension of his will, forged for a singular purpose. He was accumulating the evil residue within him, refining and controlling its volatile nature. Despite their differences, the original and his avatar shared the same goal, to grow stronger, to prepare for the worst, and to push beyond their limits. It's harder than I thought, controlling magic from the dark dimension. Who knew learning without a tutor would be this exhausting? Though the dark magic threatened to erode his mind, his powerful mental shields held firm, resisting its corruption. His accelerated thought process, his superspeed cognition allowed him to analyze and master this chaotic energy faster than most ever could. This lonely training served a crucial purpose, to achieve balance between the forces of order and chaos within him. A delicate, treacherous task, one that only he could undertake. To him, magic was like a system glitch, an unpredictable error in the cosmic code. But those with the intelligence and cunning to exploit such bugs could wield unimaginable power. With a deep sigh, he stood. His crimson eyes gleamed with cold resolve. Enough for today. I need to erase this planet before I leave. Through his training, he had realized something terrifying: his power didn't just destroy. It could mutate, evolve, and twist anything it touched, driving living beings into madness. The very presence of his uncontrolled dark aura was a threat to existence itself. With that in mind, he ascended into space, looking down upon the doomed world. He raised a hand, summoning a crackling red bolt of unholy energy. 3, 2, 1, 0. Chaos Phantasmagoria. The red bolt descended, expanding into a vortex of spiraling chaos that engulfed the planet entirely. Space trembled as the world was erased, consumed by the very essence of disorder, leaving nothing behind. 5 seconds? Disappointing. I'll need a more durable playground next time. With a flick of his wrist, he conjured a fiend's gate, a portal to an alternate universe, shrouded in dark mystery. The darkest ultra stepped forward, vanishing into the unknown, waiting patiently for the moment his original self would call upon him. His purpose was set. His motive? Unclear. But one thing was certain: when the time came, the universe would tremble. Satria Mansion. Kyoto, Japan. The dimly lit room was illuminated only by the glow of monitors and the vibrant neon of arcade sticks. In one corner, Kazuma lounged with a confident smirk, while on the other side of the couch, Satria fidgeted nervously. "Why are you so strong?" "No. Relax, Jan. You promised yourself not to be toxic. The battle isn't over yet." Kazuma grinned, fingers tapping away effortlessly. "What do you mean not over? This is the end for you, noob." Satria gritted his teeth as his character struggled against Kazuma's relentless onslaught. Every attack he threw was countered with pinpoint precision, every attempt to break through met with a flawless block. His health bar drained alarmingly fast. "No, no. You're a damn cheater." With a few well-timed combos, Kazuma crushed him twice in a row without breaking a sweat. No matter how hard Satria tried, he couldn't land a significant hit. "Told you. Fighting games are my forte," Kazuma gloated. "Now pay up and take this as a lesson, never challenge the great Kazuma." Satria sighed, tossing his controller aside. "You got lucky. My controller is a little damaged, but fine. A deal's a deal." He leaned back. "Now, about your training, when do you want to start? Also, we need to discuss the future." A voice cut in, smooth yet teasing. "You? Train him?" Fatalis, Satria's wife, folded her arms, smirking as she watched Kazuma with amused pity. "I thought you were a NEET who preferred sleeping and lazing around rather than moving your scrawny body." Kazuma scoffed. "TCH, I don't have a choice. If I want to survive in that world surrounded by those girls, I have to get stronger. Black Cat told me your husband is an incredible tutor, one who can maximize talent in a short time. And I'm a fast learner. Should be easy peasy, lemon squeezy," he said, brimming with confidence. Satria chuckled. "We'll see about that." Then his tone shifted slightly. "As for the future, I recently built a company here. Our goal is to develop a new energy source that can replace harmful materials and help the environment. My company operates in multiple industries, and according to my predictions, you'll eventually meet someone with major influence in your world. That's where you come in." Kazuma narrowed his eyes. "Wait. You want me to be your broker? So you can build a factory or something in my world?" He crossed his arms. "If this project benefits me, I don't mind. But who's this person you're talking about? How the hell would a low-rank adventurer like me have such a connection?" "Trust me," Satria said with a knowing smirk. "This girl is special. Strong, beautiful, and the type to spoil you rotten. Only a fool would let go of that kind of potential. Be patient, and the world will be yours to enjoy." Kazuma's jaw dropped slightly. Wait. Beautiful and strong? And she'll spoil me rotten too." His eyes sparkled with hope. Is this girl my fated heroine in that stupid world? Unbelievable." Satria gave a secretive smirk. "With conditions, of course. Everything is going according to my plan." Before Kazuma could probe further, the door creaked open, and two small figures entered the gaming room. The moment they saw Satria, they immediately rushed to him, snuggling into his arms. "Naya! Roar!" Satria's eyes softened as he hugged them. "Look who missed their daddy! Do you both love your new playground?" Vaporeon and Selena, his beloved little girls, nestled deeper into his embrace, purring in contentment. Their affection was their way of expressing gratitude for the love and home he provided. At times like this, nothing, not even an intense gaming rivalry, could pry Satria away. Kazuma blinked. "Dude, you really are a furry, hey?" Fatalis let out a chuckle. "Better ignore him, Kazuma-kun. He'll try to lead you down the same path if you're not careful." Then her tone became more serious. "His offer is tempting, sure. It could bring you glory, but the real question is, are you ready to take responsibility for that choice? If you want a normal life, stick with your party. You, the lowly explosion maniac, the Crusader, and that useless goddess actually have good chemistry. You could be a happy family. Go with your own flow, not the flow someone else creates for you. Kazuma's cocky demeanor faltered. Fatalis' words made him think. Was he really ready for that kind of responsibility? He only ever wanted to chill, to enjoy life, not to be caught up in conflicts. But, deep inside, another part of him whispered, stop being a loser. Get out of your damn comfort zone. Before he could dwell on it too much, Fatalis snatched Satria's controller, cracking her knuckles. Enough talking. Let's play. Unlike that noob, I'm not an easy opponent. Satria jolted. Who are you calling easy? Kazuma smirked, shaking off his doubts. Had. All right, Fatalis-san. Show me what you've got. A clone of Satria, currently tending the bar inside the mansion, poured a glass of water and set it in front of his guest. His gaze was calm yet attentive. Are you getting accustomed to life here? Is anything making you uncomfortable? You can talk to me first. Sometimes talking helps more than drinking. Across from him sat a striking figure, a being of both grace and power. Her long, flowing blonde hair framed her face, her black horns curving ominously yet elegantly. Feathered wings rested against her back, twitching slightly as she mulled over his words. Crom took a sip of the water, appreciating the gesture. I used to live freely, doing whatever I wanted. If someone weaker than me got in my way, I crushed them. That was the way of life I knew. She sighed, fingers tracing the rim of her glass. Now, after everything I've done, you people just take me in? An evil dragon like me, treated as family? I don't think I deserve this kind of happiness. Everyone here seems so happy around you, yet I don't feel like I belong. Satria leaned forward slightly, listening with an understanding expression. I get it. It's tough living somewhere unfamiliar. I felt the same when I first left my homeland, far from everything I knew. But you don't have to figure everything out at once. What matters is we'll do our best to make you feel comfortable and happy here. You're part of the family now. Crom chuckled, shaking her head. Now I see why all these girls are crazy about you. That silver tongue of yours is something else. Satria grinned. He, you can praise me more. He turned to the shelf behind him, selecting a bottle of top-grade wine. Pouring a glass, he set it in front of her. This one's my favorite. Sometimes, a good glass of wine helps clear the mind. Crom took a sip, her eyes widening slightly as she savored the rich, complex flavors. Wow! This is amazing! Thank you! You're welcome. Satria suddenly paused, his gaze flickering to something invisible in the air. His expression darkened slightly. _____. Ding! Mission alert, defeat the Northern Tribe in Asthetha's world. Participants required, 2. Time will be paused in the participants' world during the mission. God of Hope, Asteth. You need to stop this madness before it's too late. Spider-Man, wait, hold on, why are we helping Asteth? This seems kinda shady. Also, Big Bro Naruto looks like he's about to throw hands. Asteth, war isn't about choices, Naruto. If we back down, they'll invade the Empire sooner or later. You were raised as a soldier, you of all people should understand that. Robin, there's always a choice. That's why diplomacy exists in the first place. Asteth, oh, I agree. But tell that to our Prime Minister. The man's so rotten he'd probably sell his own shadow if it got him more power. The only reason I serve the Empire is to find a worthy opponent and, well, love. Which I've already found, thanks to this group chat. King of Knights, let me be blunt. Is your country planning to commit genocide against the Northern Tribe? Ruby, Gina what? What's that? Robin, you're better off not knowing, Ruby. Trust me. Esteth, like it or not, the answer is yes unless, of course, one of you wants to step up and overthrow the Prime Minister. Hero Hunter, don't need to see it to know your empire is full of garbage. Power in the hands of fools leads to nothing but ruin. Pervert Sage, oof, rough situation, Esteth. Maybe we should bring in at Bangsat to mediate. Bangsat has entered the chat. Bangsat, who dares summon the handsome admin? Smiling face with sunglasses. Kuroniko, my lord. Are you eating well? Do you need money? Anything I can do to ease your burdens? Just say the word. Smiling cat face with open mouth. Bangsat, I'm fine, I'm fine. No need to treat me like a little kid, Fran. White lady, wait a minute, are you the type who brainwashes young girls into becoming your devoted caretakers? Disgusting. Bangsat, whoa, whoa. Misunderstanding. I'm just an honorable man who takes responsibility for his loved ones. No way I'd leech off them. Evil spirits, welcome back, at Bang. What are you doing on this lovely night? Bangsat, would you believe me if I said I was thinking about you? White smiling face. Evil spirit, oh my, how can we be so in sync? Could this be fate? Phew phew phew. Kuroniko, humph. Pouting cat face, are you forgetting about me, my lord? Bangsat, of course not every day, I dedicate myself to making sure my family is happy and loved. You two complete me, and I can't imagine my life without you. Love you both. Blowing a kiss. Evil spirits, that's so sweet, honey. Kuroniko, hee hee, you're such a silly man of mine. Robin, out of everyone here, you guys called this idiot to mediate. White lady, ag. How do you people not die of embarrassment? That was so cringe, I need bleach for my brain. Get a room. God of Hope, alright, enough jokes. Bangsat, do you have a plan to avoid unnecessary bloodshed? Bangsat, ah, so we're playing villains now, hey? Well, Naruto, this might be your time to shine. Why not hit us death with your famous talk no jutsu? Let's test if humans can truly understand each other, or if that's just wishful thinking. Esteth, I like the confidence, but you'll be sorely disappointed if you think words alone will stop war. Bangsat, then we go with Plan B. Show the Empire's forces your power, claim the northern tribes' land under your rule, recruit Night Raid, and finally, remove the Prime Minister. Either take the Empire by force or, if you're feeling merciful, train the young Emperor to become a real leader. Amelia, is there really no peaceful way to resolve this? Bangsat, Amelia-chan, you're too pure for this world, and I respect that. But rulers don't get the luxury of naive ideals. Pervert sage, so it really is impossible for humans to understand each other without war. Bangsat, eternal peace? Sorry to break it to you, Jiraiya, but that's a fairy tale. The only way to achieve it is by controlling everyone, erasing free will and forcing obedience. That's not peace. That's just oppression with a prettier name. Pervert sage, I'll go. My instincts tell me this mission isn't for kids who've never seen real war. God of Hope, I'll go too. If I can't stop you, Esteth, I'll make damn sure you don't do anything unforgivable. Esteth, oh? You coming to stop me, Naruto? Hee hee hee, then let's make this a special night for us, shall we? Mission participants confirmed. _____. Crom watched Satria as he absent-mindedly played with something invisible in the air. His expression darkened slightly, his mood clearly affected. Something wrong? Crom tilted her head. Satria let out a slow breath. Nothing. Just wasn't expecting the group chat to throw us into damn mission involving inhumane acts. Group chat? Mission. Crom's curiosity piqued. You gonna explain, or do I have to pry it out of you? Satria chuckled dryly. Alright, alright. It all started on that day. The first light of dawn broke over the land of Japan, casting a soft golden hue over the peaceful scenery. In a quiet corner of his home, Bang Satria sat in his favorite spot, a wooden gazebo overlooking the garden. Dressed in a simple sarong and loose shirt, he moved with deliberate slowness, savoring the tranquility of the morning. The rich aroma of freshly brewed kopi tubruk filled the air, a strong, thick Indonesian coffee he had perfected making over the years. Just as he took his first sip, a familiar voice rang out. Danasama here, have some morning snacks. Also, remember no more than 4 cigarettes a day, or... A small plate of pisang goreng, fried bananas, was gently pushed toward him. Kiyohime, his ever-dutiful wife, stood before him with a knowing smile. Or what? He asked, raising an eyebrow. She leaned in slightly, her tone sweet but laced with undeniable authority. Or you're forbidden from touching that for 2 weeks as punishment. Are we clear? Satria coughed, nearly choking on his coffee. Why yes, crystal clear. Thank you for always spoiling me with your delicious food, Kiyohime. Kiyohime nodded in satisfaction and took a seat beside him. As he enjoyed the warmth of his drink, Satria gazed at the sky, feeling nothing but gratitude. He was truly the luckiest man in the world to have a new life, a loving family, and peace in another world. Morning, my mate. A new voice joined them, and before he could react, Office had already plopped down beside him, casually reaching for his plate of snacks. Without hesitation, she grabbed a piece of pisang goreng and took a bite. Delicious. What is this? She asked, munching happily. Satria stared at the plate in horror. Wait. You already ate 6 of them. I haven't even had one. Office, the rest are mine. Office tilted her head innocently. But I heard from the other wives that a husband's belongings are also his wife's belongings, which means... She placed a hand on his, smiling sweetly. Your bananas are mine too. Satria's eye twitched. No. It's mine. Don't eat my banana. The two stared each other down, hands gripping opposite sides of the plate. Just as it looked like things would escalate, a sharp voice cut through the tension. Stop it, both of you. Satria and Office froze, turning toward Kiyohime, who now wore the expression of a strict mother scolding misbehaving children. She sighed, rubbing her temples. Fighting over food? Really? That's not how we solve problems in this house. With gentle but firm hands, she took the plate from them. If you two can't share like adults, then neither of you will have the snacks. A heavy silence followed. Office nodded reluctantly, while Satria of all things pouted. I'm sorry. They both mumbled. Seeing their defeated expressions, Kiyohime chuckled and returned the plate. Good. Now be good kids, and I'll fry more bananas later. Enough for both of you. As they happily finished their snacks, the morning settled back into peaceful comfort. Later, with his belly full and his heart content, Satria found himself idly browsing through the dimensional chat shop. Office had left to oversee the reconstruction of the Chaos Brigade's base, an unfortunate casualty of Fatalis' recent rampage. Without anything urgent to do, Satria was left alone with his thoughts. Bored, he suddenly remembered something. Oh yeah! I still have some mystery boxes left. Might as well open them now. Rubbing his hands together, he smirked. Alright, Kakaxus, don't disappoint me. Give me something good. With dramatic flair, he pressed the button. _____. Ding! Congratulations! You got J2 Prime. Description: a legendary phone known for its magical features, personally guaranteed by Optimus Prime. Satria stared blankly at the notification. Polypapak Cow Optimus Prime. All my hard work, only for this fossil of a phone. He powered it on, and just as expected, the screen lagged. The apps took years to load. Ghost touches appeared out of nowhere. Njalag. Garak Sendai Relay Arnya Pitahul Gok Mensit apa. Goibusli. Disgusted, he tossed the phone onto the table. You know what? This thing could probably run Genshin Impact at max settings right before it overheats and explodes. Hell, if I throw it at someone's head, I'm pretty sure they'd get Ice ID instantly. Next. ______. Ding. Congratulations! You got a portal gun. Description: a gadget that creates portals between universes. Crafted from a combination of soda with the acidity of Mountain Dew, the substance is volatile and dangerous. Handle with care. Satria's eyes sparkled. Oh! Finally, something useful. He held up the futuristic device, admiring its sleek design. With this, I don't have to waste energy traveling between worlds anymore. Excitedly, he placed the gun aside and moved on. ______. Ding! Congratulations! You got Heart Guard. Description: grants a shield to an ally from any distance and lets you attach to them for 12 seconds, allowing free skill usage with no mana cost. Satria froze. Then he reread the description. Then he froze again. Wait. Montan Birkanda. Kanapal Elaki Tampan Dan Barani Makam Gu Dapit Skilna Angela. Hey Deha. He sighed. Odar La, Bodo Amat. At least I'm ready to shout, Pappy Pappy Boom, anytime now. ______. Ding! Congratulations! You got Capsule Kaiju, X-Tyrant. Description: a terrifying monster reborn from the vengeful spirits of countless kaiju. X-Tyrant's centaur-like form towers over most other kaiju, making him a force of pure destruction. Silence. Then. Jackpot! Satria shot up from his seat, pumping his fist into the air. Thank you, Kakek Zeus. Gakor bang! ______. Meanwhile, in Olympus, somewhere in the divine realm, Zeus was preoccupied. Yes. Yes. Ah. Why'd you stop? Keep pounding me, Lord Zeus. The god of thunder blinked in confusion. Hey? Who dares call my name during my sacred activities? Then, the prayers of a certain mortal reached his ears. Wait, it's been a long time since someone sincerely prayed and thanked me. His ego swelled. His divine pride burned brightly. Very well. For the first time in centuries, this mighty Zeus shall bestow a true blessing upon a mortal. Lightning crackled around his fists. Now prepare to taste my newest technique. The helicopter style. ______. Satria was still celebrating his kaiju capsule when a sleepy, lingerie-clad Valyana wandered onto the gazebo. She rubbed her eyes. Why are you so loud in the morning, hubby? Then she spotted the capsule in his hands. Hey? What's that weird thing? Looks like a toy. Satria gave her an offended look. Sembarngan. This is not a toy. It's a scientific marvel that contains my newest ally. Valyana smirked, leaning her head on his shoulder. So what kind of weird pet did you get this time? He grinned. Bingo. But he's no ordinary pet, he's far too powerful for you to handle right now, my dear. Valyana's golden eyes flashed with interest. Oh? That's strong. Even Albion, the legendary white dragon emperor residing within her, spoke up. Too much for us? Now you've really piqued my curiosity, human. Satria chuckled. Time will tell, my friend. But trust me, you will meet him one day. _______. Ding! Congratulations! You got sunshine. Description: a holy magic that grows stronger with the rising sun, granting near invincibility at its peak. However, its power fades as the sun sets. The moment the notification appeared, Satria's entire body ignited with an overwhelming golden light. The air trembled. The ground beneath him cracked. An intense heat radiated outward, engulfing the entire house. "Hubby! What's happening to you?" Valyana cried, leaping back from the sudden inferno. Inside the house, his companions woke up in alarm. What the hell is this heat? I can't sleep like this." Kazuma groaned. "Danasama! Senpai! Are you okay?" Even Krom Kruuk, a dragon of immense power, narrowed his eyes. "This energy, it's almost divine. What kind of human are you, Satria?" But Satria was loving this. With his body still glowing like a golden sun, he stood tall. His voice boomed like thunder. "Do you think something like this can influence me? Know where you stand. You are in the presence of the Golden Emperor. Obey." The sheer authority in his words made the very air tremble. Then just as quickly as it arrived, the overwhelming power stabilized. The temperature returned to normal. Satria let out a breath. "Huffed, almost lost myself there. I really don't want to turn into a buff guy with an arrogant attitude. Not my style." His friends stared at him in shock. "The hell was that?" Kazuma muttered. Satria gave them a sheepish smile. "Hee hee. Sorry for the inconvenience." Just then. Ding! New mission available. Satria sighed. "Here we go again. ______. Ding! Group quest active. Mission: defeat the invader attacking the faction meeting in Bangsat World. Participants required: 3 people. Time in participants' worlds will be paused during mission. _____. Satria's eyes gleamed with excitement. "Oh? A mission in my world? Now this is interesting." But before he could even react. No, I just remembered. I have some very urgent business back in my world. Super important. Sorry, but I gotta go." A certain shadowy adventurer turned on his heel, attempting to escape at record speed. Unfortunately for Kazuma Sato, Satria's reflexes were far superior. With zero effort, he grabbed the back of Kazuma's collar and pulled him back like a misbehaving cat. Oi, 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 where do you think you're going, Mr. Shadow?" Kazuma let out a strangled wheeze. "GHK. No, wait. Listen, Satria. Satria leaned in, whispering something horrifying into his ear. Kazuma's face turned pale. His whole body trembled. Hua. Please, don't do that to me, Satria-sama." Tears welled up in his eyes as he clung to Satria's arm like a desperate man. "I'm just a weak, defenseless NEET. How do you expect someone like me to stand up to scary figures like that?" Satria smirked, patting his friend's back reassuringly. "Don't worry," he said, his tone dripping with amusement. "With the power of Pappy Pappy Boom, you don't need to fear anything. After all, a true friend like me will always protect you." Then, his smirk widened. "So, are you ready for a super cute adventure, Kazuma-kun?" Kazuma stared at him in pure terror. "I feel like I just got roped into something really bad." To be continued. Chapter 110, Chapter 89. Mr. Wolf and Miss Rabbit. Satria Mansion. Kyoto, Japan. Well, this was an unexpected matchup. Satria stood with his arms crossed, watching the fierce-looking young man before him. The stranger had spiky, silver-grey hair and a body honed to perfection, his sharp gaze scanning the surroundings like a predator assessing its next prey. Beside him was a strikingly beautiful silver-haired elf, her eyes filled with innocence and kindness, in odd contrast to her companion's raw intensity. The elf stepped forward, concern evident in her voice. "Are you a hero hunter? Why did you join this mission in your current condition?" The silver-haired warrior scoffed. "It's none of your business, woman. I'm perfectly fine. You don't need to worry about me." "Fine? You're covered in injuries. It's a miracle you're even standing. Please, let me check your body first, hero hunter-kun. Tch. As if a tiny girl like you can do anything. Stay back. Why? Do you hate me? No. Then. Tch. How are you supposed to get a girlfriend when you're this aggressive towards women, Garu-kun?" The amused voice came from Satria, who shook his head with mock disappointment. "Your senpai is very disappointed." Before another word could be spoken, Garu lunged at Satria with feral intensity, his movements fluid yet unpredictable. He adapted on the spot, absorbing Satria's techniques and countering them almost immediately. The ground cracked beneath their feet, shockwaves rippling through the air as they exchanged blows with terrifying speed. Satria's grin widened. "Finally! A real martial artist! I was getting bored fighting people who rely on weapons or magic. Show me what you've got, Garu. Don't underestimate me, bastard." Garu growled. "I know you're holding back, so stop insulting me and get serious, or I'll make you regret it." Their battle escalated, movements becoming a whirlwind of sheer technique and skill. Every punch and kick was met with an equally precise counter. Their bodies weaved through the air, striking and evading in a deadly dance. The sheer intensity left onlookers speechless. What is wrong with these two? We have to stop them," the elf girl exclaimed. A playful chuckle came from a nearby woman Fatalis who casually tapped the elf's shoulder. "Relax, Emilia-chan. For men, sometimes fists do the talking. Just watch." "Wait, how do you know my name?" "Hubby is." "They're equal in skills. Our usual nonchalant senpai, he's actually enjoying himself in a fight." "They're smiling? Who is that guy?" "He's human, like hubby, but something about him is different. If he keeps evolving, he could become one of the strongest beings in this world," Fatalis mused. Krom Kruuk, a mighty dragon warrior, frowned. How can humans reach that level? Yet as she watched, she couldn't shake the feeling that Satria had barely scratched the surface of his power. "Damn it! I want to see his true strength. What kind of monster is hiding behind that laid-back personality?" Finally, after what felt like an eternity, both fighters leaped back, landing on the fractured battlefield. Breathing heavily, Garu wiped a trickle of blood from his lip and smirked. "Not bad." Satria nodded, respect evident in his expression. "You exceeded my expectations, Garu. But remember, strength isn't just about power. It's about knowing when to use it. Tch. Don't start with that lecture crap. You sound just like that old man." Garu took his stance again, eyes sharp. "And don't act like you're superior to me. If you're not going all out, then I'll just beat the truth out of you." Satria grinned. "All right, let me show you something fun. The real question is..." His figure blurred. "Can you keep up?" Before Garu could react, a devastating punch slammed into his abdomen. "Gah!" His body jerked, eyes widening in pure shock. Too fast. His mind screamed as pain erupted through his torso. "I didn't even see him move. What kind of monster is he?" His consciousness slipped before he could even counter. Krom Kruuk stood frozen, eyes unblinking. I couldn't see it. Krom Kruuk couldn't even process what just happened. Beside her, another onlooker whispered in disbelief, "So, this is what Naruto-san meant. Speed that surpasses raw power renders any strength useless. Yada yada, and this is why DC keeps nerfing the Flash." Satria sighed, cracking his knuckles with mild disappointment. Damn! That was too quick. I wanted to play a little longer. His eyes flickered with hidden ambition as he muttered under his breath, I can still get faster. But no rush. In the end, that chair will be mine. Hours had passed. Amelia sat beside the resting form of the so-called hero hunter, exhaustion tugging at her limbs. She had poured all her effort into healing him, weaving magic infused with both skill and compassion. Each spell drained her energy, but she refused to stop her determination unwavering. Finally, as she rose to her feet, a faint groan reached her ears. The young man, his body marked with fresh scars, stirred. His eyes fluttered open, hazy with confusion, before settling on Amelia. Where am I? His voice was hoarse, as if awakening from a long dream. Then, as clarity returned, he groaned. TCH yet. I've been having weird dreams lately. First, that stupid chat group, and now getting my ass handed to me by that damn bastard. Amelia leaned forward, relief evident in her expression. Hero Hunter-kun. You're awake. She clasped her hands together, her silver hair catching the light. How are you feeling? Garu sat up slowly, his body tensing as if expecting pain, but there was none. His fingers ghosted over his once wounded torso, and his wild eyes widened in disbelief. My wounds, gone. He clenched and unclenched his fists, testing his mobility. Even the pain, completely disappeared. Amelia smiled, warmth radiating from her. Thank goodness. I was worried all my effort would be in vain. Garu turned to her, something unreadable flickering in his gaze. You're the one who healed me. She nodded shyly. Why yes. I'm sorry for touching you without permission, Hero Hunter-kun. Her words faltered as she fully took in his appearance. His well-toned body, a testament to years of grueling martial arts training, was now unmarked by injuries. His sharp features, rebellious yet undeniably handsome, exuded a fierce presence. A faint blush crept onto Amelia's cheeks. Garu, on the other hand, felt a strange sensation creeping up his spine. She looks like a character straight out of an anime or fantasy movie. He thought before snapping out of it. No. I don't have time for this. Focus, Garu. Taking a deep breath, he calmed himself, regaining his usual composed demeanor. Garu, he said at last, his voice steady. That's my name. And you? Amelia beamed. My name is Amelia. So. Garu-kun, hey? I'm pleased to meet you. Let's be friends from now on. She held out a glass of water with a gentle smile. Here, have something to drink before you leave the room. Garu blinked, slightly taken aback. Friends? He hesitated, then awkwardly accepted the drink. Why yeah, sure. Thanks, Amelia. As he took a sip, his face heated. It was subtle, but he could feel at his ears growing warm, his pulse slightly quicker. Damn it! What the hell's wrong with me? This is just water. Amelia giggled softly, watching his reaction with amusement. He's not as scary as he tries to be, she thought, studying his expression. In the chat group, he acts like a lone wolf, but deep down, I can tell he's not a bad person. There must be a reason he carries himself like a delinquent. A spark of determination lit up in her eyes. If I can be his friend, maybe I can help him find a better path. Garu-kun, she said gently, you're welcome to talk with me anytime. Garu averted his gaze, clicking his tongue. TCH, do whatever you want. But his blush betrayed him. Just outside the room, two figures stood in the dimly lit hallway, their ears pressed against the door. Satria and Fatalis listened intently to the conversation unfolding inside, their expressions a mix of amusement and curiosity. A smirk played on Fatalis' lips as she leaned closer. What an unexpected development! The ship is sailing, Captain, she whispered, warmth blooming in her chest. Satria sighed, shaking his head. I feel bad for that guy, though, he muttered. From what we know, the real protagonist hasn't even shown up in Amelia's world yet. Imagine his face when he sees the woman he's madly in love with getting close to another man. His lips pressed into a thin line. Not gonna lie, that's gotta sting. A mischievous glint flashed in Fatalis' eyes. I don't know, but honestly, who cares? She shrugged dramatically. Love is war, Satria. And in war, only the strongest claim victory. She tapped her chin thoughtfully before turning to him with a teasing grin. How about we make a bet, puppy? I'll put my chips on Garu over Subaru. Satria frowned. What kind of scam are you running here? That's not even a fair bet, that's straight up overkill. Well, that's what makes it fun, she said, her tone dripping with amusement. Besides, I'm already generous enough to let you bet on the MC. TCH, forget it. I'm not getting involved in this nonsense. Satria stepped away from the door with a shake of his head. We should leave them alone and let the youngsters enjoy their moment. Fatalis trailed behind him, a knowing smile tugging at her lips. Youngsters. She stifled a chuckle. Has he forgotten Amelia's real age? Her red eyes sparkled with mischief as she gazed at Satria's retreating figure. He acts so mature sometimes, my little puppy is just too adorable. And with that, the two left, allowing fate and perhaps a little chaos to unfold behind them. Kua Academy. The long-awaited Parents' Day had arrived, a time when families gathered to observe their children in the classroom. Of course, in Satria's household, this simple school event had somehow escalated into a full-blown conflict. His wives had fiercely debated who would take on the role of his guardian for the event, each determined to claim the coveted spot. After much negotiation, chaos, a conclusion was finally reached. Now, as Satria sat in class, he sighed, already feeling the headache coming. Creative English learning. All right, everyone. Today, we're going to use our papier-mâché to create anything you want. The eccentric English teacher struck a dramatic pose. Just take whatever image pops into your head and bring it to life. It could be an animal, a person, a house. This is all part of learning English. Satria sighed again, rubbing his temples. Since when did playing with Play-Doh count as learning English? Let's try, the teacher declared with a flourish, striking yet another questionably artistic pose. Satria looked around, contemplating what to make. His gaze landed on Issei, and he could already predict what kind of nonsense the pervert would sculpt. The funniest part? Issei's parents weren't even watching him. Instead, they were cheering on Asia, showering her with encouragement. Can't blame them, Satria thought. She's a bundle of sunshine compared to their actual sun. He turned his head slightly only to freeze. Behind him, three breathtaking women sat together, their eyes locked onto him. His guardians. Fatalis had her hair pulled back into a high ponytail, the loose strands framing her sharp jawline and emphasizing her piercing gaze. Despite the busy environment, her makeup was flawless, subtly enhancing her natural beauty. Dressed in a sleek black suit with a leather briefcase resting beside her, she exuded the aura of a high-ranking corporate executive. Kiyohime, in contrast, embraced a more traditional elegance. She wore a stunning red kimono, the vibrant fabric emphasizing the passionate intensity in her eyes. Her poised demeanor gave her the air of a noble woman, but those who knew her well understood the dangerous possessiveness hidden beneath her gentle smile. Krom Kruik was the wild card. Draped in a gothic black suit, her aura carried an air of mystery and raw power. With her striking blonde hair and draconic presence, she looked every bit like a general overseeing a battlefield. Their combined presence made them impossible to ignore. And unfortunately for Satria, they weren't planning on being ignored. Shin-chan. Fatalis called out enthusiastically, her voice brimming with affection. Look this way. Ah, my little boy looks so handsome and cute right now. She eagerly snapped photos from every angle, her camera clicking non-stop. Ara, Ara, Kiyohime chimed in, a sly smile on her lips. It seems our little darling is behaving himself at school. Such a good boy. Krom Kruok, arms crossed, exhaled sharply. Big sis, you need to stop. Look at him, our alpha's facade is crumbling thanks to you. Satria, meanwhile, had buried his face in the table, shaping his clay with the last shreds of his dignity. Why are all three of you here? He screamed internally. The cool, mysterious image I worked so hard to maintain is about to shatter. They sound like doting mothers. The class, of course, was in absolute shock. All around the room, students gawked, their mouths hanging open in disbelief. The murmurs started almost instantly. No way! Shin-san actually brought 3 unbelievably gorgeous women with him. I know Kia-him-san, but who are the other 2? Amidst the whispering, one particular student was practically foaming at the mouth. Issei Hyudu. Oi, oi, oi! What is this? He hissed, gripping his play-doh like it had personally offended him. Since when did Shin-san have a harem of god-tier beauties? But before he could rant further, his sacred gear pulsed. No. No. It can't be. Drag. Issei asked, noticing the dragon's unusual reaction. I can feel it. The Welsh dragon's voice rumbled with deep disbelief. Dragon power. Strong ones. And they're with Shin asterisk. Issei's eyes widened. Wait, what? You mean they're dragons? I don't know who the blue-haired one is, but the blonde. Drake paused, almost as if struggling to accept reality. Her power. It's identical to that noisy bastard's. Noisy bastard. Issei blinked. Wait, are you saying she's connected to? Impossible. Drake interrupted, her voice filled with stunned frustration. That man would never willingly follow anyone, especially a human. And yet, how does she have his power? Issei swallowed hard. It was one thing to have beautiful women around Shin, but powerful dragon-level beings? That was insane. And yet, there they were, 3 overwhelming presences gathered in one place, all for the Ice Prince of Kyoah Academy. Drake, still grumbling, turned inward with her thoughts. How does he have a connection with beings like them? I need to find out. No, I would have found out, if that damn guy hadn't sealed me in this sacred gear. Her frustration deepened as she remembered how he had rudely interfered in her battle with Albion and then sealed her away. Meanwhile, Issei was barely paying attention to his clay project, still trying to wrap his head around the situation. The classroom erupted into chaos when Issei finally finished his masterpiece. A beautifully sculpted nude figure of Rias Gremory. Oi, Hyudu. I'll pay you 10,000 yen for it. Make me one of Akeno-senpai next. Damn, this guy's got skills. Students crowded around, throwing offers like it was an art auction. Issei puffed up his chest, feeling oddly proud. Ha! Behold the power of my artistic passion. Satria, sitting nearby, sighed heavily. I should have expected this. Unlike Issei, Satria had no intention of crafting anything indecent, especially with his wives present. Instead, he had created something completely different: 3 adorable chibi clay figures resembling Kiyohime, Fatalis, and Krom Kruok. Kaie. That's so cute. Wait, the Ice Prince actually has a soft side. Several girls in class melted at the sight of Satria's work, their obsession with him only growing stronger. Before he knew it, he was completely surrounded by excited classmates. Shin-sama, can you make one for me? Are you into cute things? I didn't expect that. Feeling cornered, Satria quickly gathered his things and bolted from the room. This is too much. After escaping the madness, Satria and his family retreated to his favorite spot at Kyoah Academy, a peaceful area beneath a large cherry blossom tree. Kiyohime had come prepared, unveiling a beautifully arranged bento box filled with delicious homemade food. She gently picked up a piece of katsu curry and held it out to him. Here, say ah. Satria, feeling a bit flustered, took a bite. His eyes widened slightly. This is really good. Kiyohime beamed. Hehe, I'm so happy you like it, dear. Meanwhile, Fatalis was admiring her chibi figurine, turning it over in her hands with a fond smile. It looks just like me. Thank you, dear, she purred before leaning in and placing a gentle kiss on his cheek. Satria, trying to stay composed, scratched his cheek. I'm not that great at this stuff, but I'm glad you like it. While the others enjoyed the moment, Krom Kruik sat a little apart, arms crossed, her expression unreadable. She had yet to fully integrate into this family dynamic and seemed unsure of how to act. Fatalis, noticing her unease, spoke up. Krom? Are you all right? The blue-haired dragon hesitated before addressing Satria directly. Do you mind if I ask you something? Satria, sensing the seriousness in her tone, nodded. Yeah? What do you want to know? Krom Kruik observed Satria carefully, her golden eyes sharp with curiosity. Do you have a specific goal in this world? She asked. From what I see, you're a man of great power, someone who's managed to gather incredibly powerful figures around him. So tell me, what's your ultimate plan? Satria leaned back slightly, gazing at the sky as if searching for an answer. Then, with a steady voice filled with conviction, he replied. Ultimate plan? I don't have something so grand in mind, Krom. Everything that's happened in my life, it's been a mix of coincidence and blessings. A man doesn't become great by himself, he needs an incredible woman by his side, someone who supports him through every decision. I'm lucky to have that asterisk. As for my goal, he smiled faintly. It's simple. I want to make sure my family has a good life and a bright future. I want to be a father my children can depend on, someone who supports them in achieving their dreams. And I want the world to recognize that our family is not to be taken lightly. Krom absorbed his words, nodding slowly. I see. Then, suddenly, a smirk played on her lips. So, in other words, you want to become an elite global force, subtly controlling the world under the banner of our family. Not bad. Indeed, Fatalis added, crossing her arms with a proud smile. Sajiga Satria-sama. Krom declared, motivated. Such an ambitious dream. This one is honored to be part of your conquest. Satria blinked. Hey? Mana Ada. Ngaur. Hey? Where did that come from? That's nonsense. He preferred naps, playing, and cuddles over world domination. Fatalis, however, ignored him, draping an arm over Krom's shoulder with a mischievous glint in her eyes. Don't worry, love. I completely understand your ambition. And as your loyal wives, we'll do everything we can to assist you in achieving it. Right, Krom-chan? Then she added with a devilish smirk, not only that, we're more than ready to become the mothers of your future children too. Krom's entire face turned crimson. What? Have children? Don't joke around, big sis. I, she stuttered uncontrollably, her dragon pride clashing with the sudden thought of motherhood. Before Fatalis could push further, smack. Satria chopped her on the head, halting her teasing spree. Ah! Baka Satria, she whined, rubbing the sore spot. That hurt. Satria exhaled deeply. Listen up. His tone turned serious. We'll have children when you're ready for the responsibility, and when we both agree to raise them together. Parenthood isn't something you can just throw at someone else. I want to create a stable and loving environment for my future children. His gaze softened. I don't want to see my wife abandon her responsibilities and leave our children to strangers. Fatalis pursed her lips, knowing he was right. Okay, fine, she mumbled. I can't argue with that. Crom, still flustered, silently agreed as well. Meanwhile, Kiyohime watched them with an amused smile. Danasama will definitely be a good father, it's just a matter of time before we have one. But before anyone could dwell on the topic any longer. Kriok. The rooftop door swung open. A group of people, searching for Satria, stepped in, alerting everyone. Satria's sharp eyes locked onto the group stepping onto the rooftop. His gaze flickered over the familiar faces of Sirafal and Surtsks, but his focus quickly shifted to the three unfamiliar figures standing behind them. One of them, a blond man in a formal suit, stepped forward with an air of confidence. His piercing golden eyes gleamed with curiosity. I've been wanting to talk to you, young man. He smirked. The name's Azazel, leader of the fallen angels. Next to him stood a man with striking crimson-red hair, neatly styled to reflect his noble status. His powerful presence was unmistakable. Beside him was a beautiful older woman with long, flowing dark brown hair, styled elegantly in intricate braids. The crimson-haired man stepped forward. Finally, I can meet the savior of my daughter. His voice was warm yet firm. Allow me to introduce ourselves. I am Zidicus Gremory, and this is my wife, Vainlana Gremory. Satria tilted his head slightly. Oh? So you're Tomato Head's parents? His tone was polite, but his casual nickname for Rias made Surtsks twitch. Welcome to Japan. He gave them a respectful nod. My name is Shidou Matsumi. It's a pleasure to meet you. Zidicus chuckled at the nickname, while Vainlana simply smiled in amusement. I must admit, I'm touched, Zidicus said. For someone of your standing to show such humility. As a symbol of our gratitude, please allow us to properly thank you. Satria closed his eyes briefly. No need for that. Instead, let me treat you as honored guests. Then, with a snap of his fingers, the rooftop transformed in an instant. The concrete and metal melted away, giving birth to an enchanted garden. At the center lay a crystal-clear pond, its waters reflecting the sky, surrounded by delicate, sparkling reeds. Plush cushions and intricately carved furniture appeared, designed for maximum comfort. The surrounding trees hummed gentle, harmonic tunes, their leaves softly glowing as dusk approached. To complete the otherworldly ambience, fireflies imbued with his cosmic energy flickered around them like twinkling stars. The guests stood frozen, their eyes wide with awe. Azazel's brain scrambled for an explanation. Magic. No, this isn't magic. His eyes narrowed. I can't sense any mana. Then, how did he do this? Sirafal was the first to break the silence. Beautiful. She whispered, genuinely mesmerized. I agree, Surtsks admitted, impressed despite himself. Zidicus and Vainlana exchanged glances. In mere seconds, Satria had proved that he was no ordinary man. Vainlana smiled, her mature, knowing gaze settling on him. Era. You're much more than what people have been telling us, Shin-kun. Then, she leaned in slightly, her voice carrying a teasing undertone. By the way, what do you think of my daughter? Surtsks' eye twitched. Mother. Are you serious? Do you not remember Issei? Satria, unfazed, answered smoothly. Tomato girl? She's a good girl. A bit annoying, but she has the potential to become an influential figure, especially with the red dragon by her side. Vainlana raised an eyebrow. Just that. Satria nodded. She sighed in disappointment but said nothing further. She had a feeling there was more to him than he let on. Sirafal perked up. How have you been, Shin-kun? As fine as ever. What about you? Sirafal grinned. I am good, he then, her eyes sparkled mischievously. Do you have free time after school? A chill ran down Satria's spine. From behind him, he sensed a strong negative energy rising rapidly, a bad omen. A venomous voice sliced through the air. "Cut your crap, devil!" A wave of killing intent crashed against Sirafal. Kiyohime had arrived. Her sharp emerald eyes narrowed, glowing with possessiveness and fury. "I've had enough of seeing you trying to influence my Danasama." Silence. The temperature in the garden dropped instantly. Seraphal's playful expression froze, her body stiffening. Satria massaged his temples. "Here we go again." Krom Kruik leaned against the railing, arms crossed, giving the biblical faction a cynical glance. "They're the same as always, never change," she thought. "But, at least they aren't as bad as when that guy and his son were still alive. Good old days indeed." Her golden eyes flickered with amusement before losing interest. Meanwhile, Sirafal had tensed up, sensing the sudden surge of power and killing intent radiating from Kiyohime. Her playful demeanor was gone. This power. Seraphal's cautious gaze settled on the woman beside Satria. "Shin-kun, who are they?" Satria barely had time to react before Krom Kruik stepped forward. "My name." A familiar voice echoed in her mind, cutting her off. "Krom-chan, use a fake name. This isn't the right time to reveal yourself to the world." She blinked, glancing at Satria. His expression was unreadable, but his message was clear. "Olivia sounds good." "Yet." Krom nodded, following his lead. "My name is Olivia." Her voice was firm, betraying no hesitation. "My duty is to protect this family. I am a proud subordinate of my big sister." Before Sirafal could process this, two more voices overlapped. "I am Fatalis Matsumi." "And I am Kiyohime Matsumi." They spoke in unison, their voices sweet yet commanding. "The wife and mother of this one." At the same time, both women clung to Satria. His eye twitched. "Why? What kind of introduction is this?" From the corner of his eye, he saw Sirafal stiffen, her eyes widening in disbelief. Sertsk's gaze darkened. His next words cut through the air like a blade. "Why are you here?" His eyes locked onto Kiyohime. "The cause of the Gaijin House of the 72 Pillars becoming extinct." Sertsk's aura flared. Kiyohime the Mad Dragon. To be continued. Chapter 111, Side Story, Darkest Bizarre Adventure, 1. "You called me back, just to test this crap?" "Yeah, pretty much." Satria scratched his head, flashing an awkward grin. "You know this thing could be dangerous if we don't test it first. At the very least, I need an SNE certification from you. Please, brother. I wanna use this for a vacation with the others. Imagine if we suddenly got Ice-ID into Warhammer or the SCP universe. Not exactly my idea of a relaxing getaway." Darkest gave him a deadpan stare. "So basically, you want me to be the lab rat? If something goes wrong, I get screwed while you sit pretty? You bastard!" "Yee, bro. You're my clone, aren't you? If you run into some cosmic horror that you can't handle, just run. Simple as that. Oh, and while you're at it, upgrade the portal gun if you can. Mark down any good vacation spots, pick up some high-level techniques if you find any, bring back souvenirs we can sell for a profit, and, also, check if there are any worlds with good real estate investments." Darkest cut him off with a sigh. "Right. So, I'm basically your Ice-Guy tour guide, business scout, an errand boy. What's next? You want me to pull a magic item out of my ass like I'm Doraemon?" He crossed his arms, staring at Original, who was grinning like a smug businessman. This was what being a corporate employee must feel like. Mountains of work, a joke of a salary, and a boss who acted like this was all perfectly reasonable. And yet, against all logic, Darkest sighed and said, "Fine. Just this once." Darkest stepped through the portal and found himself in a desolate wasteland. The sky was an eerie, sickly yellow, with thick clouds choking out the sun. Ruined buildings stretched endlessly, their skeletal remains barely standing against the howling winds. Radiation hung heavy in the air, and grotesque, mutated creatures roamed the landscape. "Where the fuck am I?" Darkest muttered, stepping forward cautiously. He quickly checked his surroundings, but thanks to his natural immunity, the radiation posed no threat. Great. Just great. First mission, and I land in a post-apocalyptic nightmare. Typical. Suddenly, a deafening roar echoed through the ruins. A towering mutant, its body a grotesque fusion of flesh and bone, lunged at him with terrifying speed. Darkest instinctively raised his hand to obliterate it with his power. Bang! 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 A barrage of gunfire tore through the air, riddling the creature's skull with bullets. It let out one last gurgled screech before collapsing to the ground. Darkest turned to see a figure in red power armor approaching, the smoking barrel of his rifle still pointed at the fallen mutant. "You're welcome, comrade," the armored man called out with a booming voice. Darkest frowned but nodded slightly. "I didn't need your help, but, thanks anyway. Who are you?" The man slung his rifle over his shoulder. "I've come from a faraway land, traveling across continents in search of survivors. And to my surprise, I found you. Are you a native of this place?" "No," Darkest replied, eyeing the soldier warily. "I'm a visitor, same as you." The soldier stiffened slightly, a hint of curiosity in his posture. "Then, where do you come from?" "Indonesia. A country in the sea region." There was a brief silence. Then, to Darkest's surprise, the soldier's expression lit up. "Indonesia. My friend, that's wonderful. Your country is one of Russia's greatest allies. Wait, are you mixed blood?" "No matter." He suddenly leaned in, scanning Darkest from head to toe. "But where is your power armor? This land is extremely dangerous. Without proper protection, you'll be contaminated by the radiation." Before Darkest could respond, the soldier gestured urgently. "Come. Follow me. Quickly. We need to get you geared up before this wasteland eats you alive." The two moved cautiously through the ruined city, navigating through collapsed buildings, irradiated wastelands, and the occasional pack of mutated creatures. Each step echoed through the silent ruins, a ghost of the world that once was. Eventually, they arrived at a heavily fortified Soviet bunker, its red star still faintly visible on the rusted steel doors. The soldier punched in a security code, and with a loud clank, the heavy doors groaned open, revealing the bunker's dimly lit interior. Inside, the soldier rummaged through a storage area before letting out a triumphant laugh. "Ha ha ha! You're in luck, my Indonesian comrade. I have a spare suit of power armor just for you." Darkest inspected the bulky red armor. As soon as he slipped it on, a strange sensation washed over him. For some reason, "I can feel the taste of communism seeping into my bones." He flexed his fingers, testing the armor's mobility. "Now, tell me, who are you really, and what the hell happened to this world?" The soldier grinned. "All in due time. First, sit on the communist sofa and watch a classic Soviet film with me." "No. That sounds like blatant brainwashing." "Ha! You're sharp. Very well, then. Here, have some vodka Stalin special. Finest drink of the motherland." The soldier placed a bottle and 2 glasses on the table before suddenly hesitating. "Ah, wait. I forgot to ask, are you Muslim?" "If I remember correctly, Muslims are forbidden from drinking alcohol, yes." Darkest paused, then smirked. "Yes, it's true. But 1 or 2 glasses, maybe it's okay." He removed his helmet and grabbed the glass. The soldier roared with laughter. "Ha ha ha! You're a bit of a troublemaker, aren't you? Go on then, enjoy this rare treasure while it lasts. To new friendships. The two clinked their glasses together. Nazdarovi. The vodka burned its way down Darkest's throat, leaving a warm sensation in its wake. The soldier grinned, clearly amused by his reaction, and poured another round. As the night stretched on, the bunker was filled with laughter and conversation. The vodka flowed freely, loosening tongues and stirring up old memories. The soldier spoke of his past, his pride in serving the Soviet Union, the camaraderie among his brothers in arms, the brutal cold of Siberian training camps. Yet, beneath his words, there was a lingering sorrow. Then, Darkest asked the inevitable question. So, you were a Soviet soldier? From before the war? The soldier's expression darkened. He swirled the liquid in his glass, staring at it as if it contained the answers to his regrets. Yes. I was a sergeant in the Red Army. I served my country with pride. But in 2077, the Great War happened. And everything changed. He exhaled deeply. The world ended in fire. Nuclear bombs fell, entire cities vanished. And in the end, no one won. There was nothing left to win. Darkest leaned back. So, your country is gone? How regretful. What are you doing here, then? This place isn't even Russia. The climate's all wrong. The soldier chuckled, but there was no humor in it. Yes. Russia is no more. Just like America, China, and the rest of the world. I came here searching for something that might help rebuild civilization. Or, at the very least, an antidote to the radiation that's slowly killing what's left of humanity. Darkest's eyes narrowed with interest. An antidote? You think something like that exists? I don't know. But I have leads. There's a research facility deep in the wasteland that may hold the key. The soldier's tone grew grim. Unfortunately, I doubt I can reach it on my own. My body, it's already halfway to becoming a corpse thanks to all this radiation. It's a miracle I can even talk to you right now. Darkest smirked. If it's just getting you there, that's easy. Show me the location, and I'll assist you. The soldier's eyes widened. You're serious? Darkest nodded. Yes. But let's just say. I have my own reasons. The soldier didn't question him further. Instead, he grabbed an old, tattered map and spread it across the table. His finger pointed to a red-marked location far beyond the ruins. This is where we need to go. Darkest's grin widened. Then let's get started. They cautiously entered the bunker, their footsteps echoing through the hollow corridors. The air was stale, thick with dust and the lingering scent of rusted metal. Faint emergency lights flickered overhead, barely illuminating the long-forgotten facility. The soldier moved with practice ease, scanning their surroundings. There should be a control room around here somewhere. Ah, here we go. They stepped into a large chamber filled with aging computer terminals and dimly glowing monitors. A massive, tattered American flag hung on one of the walls, its colors faded but still a stark reminder of the past. Without hesitation, the soldier approached a nearby console and began typing rapidly. Lines of old world code flickered across the screen as he worked to bypass the security protocols. Darkest crossed his arms. What exactly are you doing? Just accessing some data, comrades. I want to see what kind of tech these capitalists were hoarding before everything went to hell. Suddenly, the entire room flickered to life. Sirens wailed, and a robotic voice crackled through the speakers, its monotone echoing through the bunker. Warning, unauthorized access detected. Security measures activated. The soldier's fingers froze over the keyboard. His eyes widened. Brother, we've got company. Get ready. A series of metallic clanks reverberated down the hallway. Heavy, mechanical footsteps approached, growing louder with each step. From the darkness emerged several humanoid figures clad in bulky, battle-scarred American power armor. Their crimson-lit visors locked onto them like hunting sensors. Darkest side. TCH typical Fallout security response. The armored figures raised their weapons, energy barrels humming to life. Hold on. Darkest took a step forward, his muscles tensing. Let me handle this. In an instant, he disappeared from view. The next moment, boom, a shockwave rippled through the room. Tempest leg, Omni slash. Darkest's leg moved faster than the eye could follow. He kicked at high speeds, sending out razor-sharp compressed air blades. The cutting force sliced through the incoming machines, their metal bodies splitting apart in a storm of sparks and debris. Within seconds, the entire squad was reduced to scrap. The Soviet soldier blinked in disbelief. Blyet. That was amazing. Are you some kind of mutant or something? Darkest dusted off his coat. Do you believe that I'm just the accumulated evil of a certain idiot? The soldier scratched his head. Hey? Comrade, you don't look evil at all. You seem like a good guy to me. Darkest froze for a moment. Something inside him twitched. His initial plan of betraying the soldier wavered ever so slightly. Blyet. Why do you have to make this difficult for me? Shaking the thought away, he turned his attention to the glowing screens. The interface was displaying an archive of pre-war technology. As his eyes scanned the list, he whistled in admiration. As I thought. This is Fallout World. His gaze shifted back to the soldier. Hey, mind if I copy some of this data? There's a lot of interesting blueprints here, and I'd like to take a closer look at them later. The soldier laughed, clapping him on the back. Ha! Take whatever you want, comrade. No one's alive to stop you anymore. Darkest smirked and pulled out his magical smartphone trademark. With a quick scan, he copied an entire catalog of advanced technology. Energy weapon schematics capable of disintegrating enemies at a molecular level. A biomedical regeneration system that could heal even the worst injuries at the cost of some cellular decay due to its rapid healing process. Autonomous robots, equipped with real-time decision-making, enhanced accuracy, and independent tactical processing. Stealth technology, making soldiers practically invisible to the naked eye. Cold fusion, capable of provide infinite energy for the country. And lastly, the molecular relay system, a teleportation device with limitless potential. As the last of the files transferred, Darkest's grin widened. This is gonna be useful. With a single press, he closed the interface, pocketing the magical smartphone trademark like a modern-day pirate stashing away stolen treasure. Turning to the soldier, he cracked his knuckles. All right, comrade. Let's get moving before more of these tin cans show up. The Soviet soldier smirked, slinging his rifle over his shoulder. Heh. With you on my side, I feel like we might actually have a chance to rebuild this world. Darkest chuckled. We'll see. With that, they moved deeper into the bunker, towards whatever secrets the past had left behind. As they stepped out of the facility, the cold wind howled through the desolate wasteland. The ruins of a dead civilization stretched before them, crumbling buildings, scorched earth, and the distant cries of mutated creatures echoing through the empty streets. Darkest glanced at the Soviet soldier walking beside him, his crimson power armor standing resilient against the bleak landscape. Hey! The soldiers turned his head slightly. Darkest exhaled, choosing his words carefully. How about you give up on rebuilding your country and become my subordinate? The soldiers stopped in his tracks. Darkest continued, his voice unwavering. This world is doomed. You're wasting your life here. I want to be honest with you, I'm not from this world. I have a way out, and if you come with me, you'll have a better life than this. There was silence for a moment. Then, the soldiers let out a soft chuckle, shaking his head. No wonder you seemed so different from everyone else. To think another world truly exists. He smiled beneath his helmet. But I can't do that, my comrade. It's my duty to save my motherland and my people. I swore an oath, and even if this world is broken beyond repair, I will keep fighting for what remains. Darkest studied him for a moment, then sighed. Fine. Just don't regret your decision later, okay? What's your name? The soldiers straightened, his voice firm. Alex Benzema. It has been an honor to fight alongside you, comrade. Darkest smirked. Satria. That's my real name, soldier. And I guess this is where we part ways. Pulling out his portal gun, he quickly recalibrated it. A shimmering green vortex appeared before him, swirling like liquid energy. Just as he stepped forward, Alex called out. Wait! Darkest turned back, raising an eyebrow. Alex reached into his pocket and tossed something towards him. On reflex, Darkest caught it midair and examined it, a small, worn medal adorned with an intricate engraving. Alex's voice was filled with pride. It's a good luck charm. The medal of St. George, the patron saint of soldiers and the Russian military. May it keep you safe, my Indonesian comrade. For a moment, Darkest was silent. Then, a small, almost imperceptible smile crossed his lips. With a final nod, he turned and leaped through the portal, vanishing into the unknown. Where would he end up next? Who knows? To be continued. Chapter 112, Chapter 90. Night before the nightmare. The atmosphere on the rooftop thickened, tension crackling through the air like a live wire. It felt like the entire world was holding its breath, waiting for the inevitable explosion. Wow! My family is full of criminals, hey? The old man would be proud to see that I can fix them. Satria mused internally, though his expression remained unreadable. Is that true, Kia-him-san? Fatalis asked her sister's wife, her voice steady but filled with quiet intensity. Even if the accusations were true, that didn't mean she was going to side with the devils. Kiyohime scoffed. Humph! Is self-defense a crime now? Blame your kind for trespassing into my domain. It's a fitting punishment for the trash that tried to turn me into their slave. Surtsk's gaze hardened. Do you understand the gravity of your actions? Killing a pure-blooded noble is an act of war against us. I bear no personal grudge, but your crime cannot go unpunished. The laws of the underworld demand judgment. And if she refuses to be judged by your laws? Fatalis asked, her expression darkening, hostility flaring against the devil race. Surtsk's answer was simple. Then, you leave me no choice. The air around him shimmered, the sheer weight of his power pressing against them. A crimson aura of destruction crackled around his raised hand, warping the space itself. Oi, oi, don't tell me you're gonna fight here! Azazel exclaimed, alarmed. He could already see the situation spiraling into disaster. Satria's side was already on high alert. Fatalis and Crom Cruach stood firm, their own power flaring in defiance. Sparks of energy crackled between them, the pressure of their combined strength distorting the very air. Zedekiah's eyes widened in shock. It can't be. He knew this power. A force feared by countless races across the world. D-Dragon! Sweetheart, stop this! Venelana called out to her son, desperate to prevent the coming catastrophe. Think about your surroundings. Such power! Sira Fall paled. Surtsk-chan, stop it! This city cannot withstand your full strength. If you clash here, it'll lead to a disaster. Not only that, if the Shinto pantheon sensed an imbalance in their land, they might ban the devils from entering their territory altogether. Surtsk remained unfazed. His gaze flicked back to Satria. Boy, make your decision now. Will you stand as our ally, or as our enemy? Hand over the criminal before it's too late. His voice was measured, but cautious. There was something about this human that unsettled him. Why is he so relaxed? Does he not fear me? Just, what is he? But before Satria could answer, Fatalis let out a sharp, mocking laugh. You hypocritical bastard! To hell with your so-called law! Are you the type of leader who only cares about his own people, blind to everything else? How many innocent souls have you dragged into your twisted games? How many have you turned into your eternal pets like that perverted red dragon brat? She jabbed a finger at him before flipping him off. Shut up! Surtsk's aura flared dangerously. You know nothing about our race. It was necessary. After the Great War, our numbers dwindled. We had no choice but to take drastic measures to ensure our survival. Bullshit! Crom Kruik stepped forward, his draconic aura intensifying. I may not know everything about devils, but I do know this: you're greedy, power-hungry assholes who only care about yourselves. Take that red dragon brat, for example. Don't act like you won't throw him away when he's no longer useful. What? We would never. Liar! Kia Him's voice cut through the tension like a blade. Surtsk froze. I can hear it, she continued, her golden eyes glowing ominously. Your heartbeat. The way it wavers. Your words say one thing, but your body betrays the truth. A heavy silence fell. Then, Surtsk chuckled. It started as a quiet laugh, then grew into something dark. Het. Het. Ha ha ha. Ah ha 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 ha. His laughter echoed across the rooftop before he leveled them with a gaze colder than the depths of hell. Enough. I'm done playing nice with you. His voice was like steel. Did you really expect devils to behave like saints? Hand over the criminal. His power surged, waves of destruction rolling off him like a living storm. Or face the wrath of Surtsk's Lucifer. Sirafal took a deep breath, trying to ease the growing hostility in the air. You need to calm your friends down before something truly regrettable happens, and that goes for you too, Surtsk-chan. Her tone was firm yet gentle, her concern genuine. Emotions won't change anything. It's a bad idea to antagonize us, Shin-kun. If you cooperate, I promise your friends will be safe under my watch. We'll make sure she gets the best care. There was something about this young man that intrigued her: his strength, his confidence, and the unwavering loyalty of the women around him. Who was he to them? Satria's face darkened, his expression unreadable yet heavy with meaning. This is where you went wrong, Sirafal. His voice carried the weight of unshakable conviction. I am not some naive fool you can buy with empty assurances. You disappoint me. His sharp gaze locked onto her. Not only do you turn a blind eye to slavery, but you protect those who abuse their power. Let me make something clear: my family would rather be destroyed than surrender one of our own to the enemy. Then, the world trembled. A surge of conqueror's aura erupted from Satria, a crushing wave of sheer willpower rippling outward. The air crackled violently, unseen forces distorting space itself. Crack! The ground beneath him fractured. Trees splintered. Buildings shattered. An invisible shockwave surged through the city, sending tremors through the earth. One by one, weaker individuals collapsed, their eyes rolling back as they fell into unconsciousness, unable to withstand his sheer presence. And then he vanished. No, he was moving. To the untrained eye, it looked as if Satria and his clone had disappeared, but in reality, they had scattered at impossible speed. In an instant, he reached the residential districts, evacuating entire neighborhoods. Families who had been in danger found themselves suddenly standing in safe zones, dazed but unharmed. And just as swiftly, he returned. Back at the battlefield, the devastation was evident. From the Gremory side, Venelana was the first to fall, unable to resist the overwhelming force. Zedekis barely held on, his vision swimming as he teetered on the edge of consciousness. Mother! Surtsk gritted his teeth, struggling against the immense weight pressing down on him. He could barely breathe. You! What are you? His voice wavered, equal parts rage and disbelief. Are you seriously declaring war on us? Satria met his gaze without hesitation. It depends on your actions. If your faction keeps being an asshole and prefers war as solution, then we shall give it to them. There was no doubt, no fear, only certainty. Surtsks felt his heart pound. This isn't normal. This isn't human. What the hell is he? Seraphal's breath hitched. Impossible. No human should possess this kind of power and aura. How? How did he reach this level? Even Azazel, a seasoned warrior, felt a chill run down his spine. This pressure. This sheer presence. I haven't felt anything like this since the old man. He swallowed hard, a rare moment of unease settling in his gut. Meanwhile, among Satria's allies, Krom Kruika's lips curled into a smirk, her golden eyes gleaming with something primal. Ah! I finally understand. The reason they are so loyal to him. Her respect transformed into something deeper, devotion. Kiyohime, nestled close to her husband, smiled. Danasama did all this, for me. A warm, possessive glow filled her heart. I was right to choose him as my life companion. I will never let him go. Meanwhile, Fatalis had the most smug grin on her face. Panic gawk? Panic gawk? Panic law. My beloved husband is a boss. Sengel Dong. Before tensions could explode, Azazel took a deep breath and stepped forward. Enough. His voice carried authority, cutting through the hostility like a blade. Surtsks, have you forgotten why we're here? His golden eyes narrowed. We came here for a peace treaty, not to start another war. And from what I'm hearing, it was your side that attacked her first. A heavy silence followed. Surtsks clenched his fists but slowly exhaled. You may be right. His crimson aura dimmed, the suffocating pressure easing as he finally relented. I apologize for my impulsive actions, and for mistreating your family. Satria nodded, also lowering his aura. You should have done that from the start. Without hesitation, he pulled Kiyohime into his lap, his arms securely wrapped around her. His voice was firm but soft, filled with unwavering devotion. She is my first love. Even if the world turns against her, I will stand by her side, no matter the cost. Kiyohime's heart swelled. Her arms wrapped around him, her voice dripping with affection. Danasama, you're my everything, too. I love you. Her radiant smile only made the women around them seethe with jealousy. Azazel chuckled, a sly grin playing on his lips as he observed the young man before him. Well, she's one lucky lady to have you, Shin-kun. It's rare to meet youngsters of your caliber in this world. Extending a hand, he continued, I've heard of you and your achievements. Charismatic, strong, brave, humorous, creative, and even an entrepreneur. No wonder my tomboyish daughter took an interest in you. His golden eyes gleamed with amusement. It's an honor to finally meet you. Perhaps, we could even be allies after this. Satria smirked, exuding a cool confidence as he clasped the handshake firmly. Sure, why not? Though, who's this daughter you're talking about? Azazel's grin widened. Valyana. The White Dragon Emperor. But listen, don't call her Empress, and for the love of everything holy, never call her Princess. Trust me, you'll experience hell if you do. Satria raised an eyebrow, intrigued. Oh? I never knew she had a fallen angel for a father. He leaned back slightly, his expression thoughtful. As for Valyana, she's the kind of woman who possesses a strong sense of self, someone who refuses to be defined by others. Fiercely independent, unyielding in the face of adversity. She never backs down from a challenge. She's strong, resilient, and completely authentic. Azazel blinked. His playful grin vanished, replaced by genuine shock. You? His eye twitched. How far have you gone with my daughter? In a flash, he grabbed Satria's shoulders and started shaking him violently. Tell me everything. Spill it. Right now. Satria's composure shattered as his body flailed under Azazel's grip. What the heck, old man? I don't know what you're talking about. Liar. No one describes a woman that vividly unless they've at least held hands under the moonlight. I swear, let me go. Crom Cruick and Fatalis, watching from the sidelines, were doubled over with laughter. Meanwhile, Kiyohime frowned, possessively wrapping her arms around Satria. Danasama is mine, no matter how many admirers he has. Azazel finally released him with a sigh. Tch fine. But I'm watching you, brat. Satria exhaled, fixing his collar. Damn, do all dads interrogate potential sons-in-law like this? Azazel smirked. Oh, you have no idea. Satria's clone stood at a distance, casually flipping through a well-worn copy of Jiraiya's novel, completely unbothered by the suffering taking place in front of him. Are you always this weak, Kazuma? He asked without even glancing up. Meanwhile, buried waist-deep in dirt and surrounded by broken trees, Sato Kazuma lay sprawled on the forest floor, panting like a dying animal. His entire body ached from the relentless, hellish training Satria had put him through. Yes, yes. Sorry for being weak, Mr. Overpowered harem protagonist. Kazuma snapped, waving a limp hand. See, can we rest for a second? I don't wanna die, man. His whole body screamed in agony, and more than anything, he regretted every life decision that led to this moment. What part of him is a good teacher? Kuroniko is a liar. Or does this guy just go easy on girls? Damn it! Satria sighed, strolling over while cracking his knuckles. As people say, no pain, no gain. And this? This is just the beginning. With a casual wave of his hand, Kazuma's injuries disappeared, healed instantly. Now that you're good as new. Get up, you worthless trash. Yes, sir. Kazuma sprang to his feet, saluting like a soldier. Inside, though, he was screaming. Shit, shit, shit. This is literally military training. Note to self, never ask for training from this madman again. Satria smirked approvingly. Good answer, soldier. Now, listen up. It's not just about brute strength. It's about understanding your power and using it with purpose. Kazuma gulped. That sounded way too ominous. And now, we're going to unlock the hood. So, prepare yourself. Kazuma's stomach dropped. Satria picked up a random stone and flicked it. Crack boom. The moment it left his fingers, the entire forest trembled. The stone tore through the air like a meteorite, leaving behind a trail of pure devastation. Trees were obliterated, boulders split like paper, and the ground cracked beneath the sheer force. Kazuma's soul attempted to flee his body. His eyes widened as he stared at the aftermath. That was just a stone. Satria turned to him, smiling as if he hadn't just casually performed nature's equivalent of a tactical missile strike. Ever learned physics? He asked casually. You should know Einstein's equation, E=mc superscript 2. Kazuma gulped. Why yet? Satria grinned. E stands for energy, m stands for mass, and c superscript 2 represents the speed of light squared. Fortunately for you, I'm one of the few people who can apply this theory in real life. Kazuma turned pale. This wasn't training, this was a death sentence. Can I resign? Kazuma squeaked, frantically searching for an escape. I am not feeling well today, Satria-sensei. Satria's smile widened. His eyes sparkled with pure, unfiltered sadism. Nope, he chirped. You were the one who requested this, remember? So get ready for a very special training session from your handsome and kind teacher. Kazuma's survival instincts kicked in. Nuhu! Someone please help me! His desperate screams echoed through the forest. But there was no escape. Soon, the ones who wronged you shall face judgment, especially the church that condemned us." A chilling whisper floated through the dimly lit chamber. Across the room, a member of the Old Devil faction narrowed his eyes at the deranged figure. "Are you sure you want to bring this madman into our mission, Kateria?" Kateria gave a wicked grin. "Why not? He is nothing but a pawn. When he's no longer useful, we'll discard him like the trash he is." The air grew heavy with dark magic as the sinister man gazed at the moon through a broken window. His eyes burned with a mix of madness and sorrow. "Jean." His whisper carried through the wind. "My dear, sweet Jean." A blonde girl in the hall flinched at the sound of her own name. "Do you know him?" a fellow member asked, glancing between her and the stranger. "He seems obsessed to you." Another laughed mockingly. Who would have thought that a descendant of the Saint of Orleans would attract such a freak? Jean's face twisted in disgust. "No. I don't want anything to do with freaks like him. Stop saying my name with your filthy mouth." The sinister sorcerer turned, stepping closer. With a wave of his hand, grotesque nightmarish creatures twisted into existence, their forms warped and shrieking as they clawed at the air. Don't come any closer." Jean stammered, her heart pounding. A flick of his wrist sent black tendrils coiling around her, tightening with every breath she took. Tears streaked down his cheeks as he gazed at her with a twisted devotion. "She was the only light in my life. An ugly woman like you doesn't deserve to bear her name." His voice softened, almost melancholic. "Without her, I am but a shadow, lost in an endless night. But one day, we will meet again, and she will grant me absolution." Jean struggled, gasping for air. Let me go. Or I swear I'll kill you, you ugly son of a." She tried to activate her sacred gear, but the dark bindings crushed her efforts, sealing her magic away. "No, no. Someone please save me from this freak." A muscular man, restrained by the same writhing tendrils, thrashed in place. "Oi! Leave her alone, bastard! Damn these things!" The sorcerer turned his gaze to the hall. "Watch me, Jean." His lips curled into an unhinged grin. "I shall punish this pretender for daring to wear your sacred name." A spectator smirked from the sidelines. "Oi, cao. You're just gonna let this happen?" The leader of the hero faction barely looked up. "Why should I waste my energy? If she is weak, she is of no use to me." "No!" Jean screamed, squeezing her eyes shut, bracing herself for the end. Then, a flash of destruction ripped through the air, shattering the monstrous creatures in an instant. The Ouroboros dragon stepped forward. All eyes turned to her. With an effortless wave, she dispelled the dark energy around Jean, letting her collapse to the ground. Silence. For a moment, the mad sorcerer simply stared at her, as if locked in a trance. Then, he turned away, grinning. Consumed by madness, yet driven by a twisted sense of purpose, he vanished into the shadows. And tomorrow, he would unleash true horror upon this world. To be continued.